Your CV is long and distinguished. I want you to introduce yourself, please.
Okay. My name is Kola Ologmodinho. Who am I? I'm just an ordinary Nigerian walking the streets. I did. That's all. That's all about me. I did journalism. Well, I was an advisor. Well, I've been publicist to a political party. Presently, I'm a technical advisor to a national chairman of a political party. That's all about me.
Okay, so let us be more specific. Kola was National Publicity Secretary of PDP and one of the most supportive political spokesmen that I have ever come across. I'm extremely fond of him and extremely respectful
Thank you very
because
much.
you could call Kola at any time to say, please, I have heard this rumor in the newspaper or online. Can you confirm it or deny it? He's very straightforward. He will answer you. He will not play games. And I do love straightforward people, with integrity. So, not this one, because a lot of spokespeople feel that they are emperors, that they don't need to answer anybody. They don't know it's their job to answer the journalists. So, Kola, thank you very much for all the informational support I've received from you over the years.
Thank you
And
very much for those kind words.
yes, even at times when he told me not to mention him, he will still educate me so I'll know what to write in my article. So, welcome, Mo. Today, I don't know if you're familiar with my moderator, Sani. I'm sorry, Nana Sani Kazaure. She used to be
Yeah,
a spokesperson for the obedient movement.
that's true.
And then, yes, okay, so you
I
know
used to
her
be
maybe.
a spokesperson for the presidential campaign, not the obedient movement per se.
Okay, sorry, it's all the
Mm.
same to me.
I remember.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. And then we have my dear friend too, Comrade Walla, also a media person. I don't know if you two are friends. We haven't had much time to talk before tonight. So do you know each other?
Well, maybe my public image,
Okay.
but I
All
can't
right.
remember. I can't remember if we have met.
No, I know him from afar. Not like we had any handshake.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Don't
Fantastic.
worry,
Like
we'll have a handshake very soon. Right.
now ATC will be handshake. Oh.
Well, what is interesting is that both of you are in ADC. Um, Comrade is in the Amechi camp,
Ah,
and Kola, I don't know whose camp you're in, but you're in ADC.
No, I'm in ADC for Nigerians. I don't subscribe to clans.
Okay. You don't subscribe to camps. Okay. All
Yeah, I
right.
don't. I'm in ADC for Nigerians.
Well, so let us go straight, cut to the chase. When I invited you to join us, I simply wanted you to comment. Well, of course, as always, we would talk about everything, a little bit about everything. But the main focus at the time of the invitation I issued to you was my belief that the opposition parties were being so badly sabotaged by the APC that everybody should just down tools, go on strike, and refuse to participate in a sham election. Of course, I was describing it as a sham because of INEC's partisanship, the fact that the judges seem to always be with the government. Then, of course, law enforcement is on their side. And then they have this huge war chest being in government. So I just thought they are misusing all the powers they have at their disposal. And I felt that all the opposition parties should refuse to participate in the election. So Kola told me he did not agree with me. So I asked him to come and talk about it on Opposition Unleashed. And then the night before we were supposed to discuss this boycott topic, Peter Obi and Kwankwaso not only announced themselves as an official pairing, they have now left ADC for NDC. So that has to be one of the main topics for tonight. Thank you very much for coming. Comrades, please, I yield the mic to you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Um, Mr. Kola, you're welcome once again. And
Thank you
it's
very
good
much,
that,
comrade.
yeah, our big sister, big madam, is able to introduce you properly, and we appreciate that. And it seems you've come a long way with her. And thank you for honoring our invitation. And we're looking forward to actually engaging you. But I love the fact that she made a very positive comment about you, which speaks of your straightforwardness and your honesty as a media person, especially talking on behalf of political parties. So we Nigerians are waiting to hear from you because there are lots of things that you might actually help to give clarity. And just for that, I think for me personally, I cannot wait to engage someone like you and see how we're going to actually get some clarity in some of the things, not just on ADC, probably about politics. So this is a brief from me to welcome you once again, sir. Thank you. Nana,
Thank you very
please take it
much,
up.
Sawalam.
Thank
And
you.
thank
Thank
you
you, sir.
all.
Thank you. Nana, take it up.
Good evening, Mr. Kola. You're welcome.
Thank you,
Thank
Nana.
you for putting yourself front and center. I must tell you that sometimes the opposition unleashed can be unleashed. And we try as much as possible to keep it civil, but then we allow people to speak their minds. So please, I hope you're ready for the ride. Last week's on Position Unleashed, we were there till 5 a.m. from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. The week
What?
prior, we were there from 8 p.m. to I think 2 a.m.
I will do
So,
what I will do, Nana. I will do just an hour.
no problem, no problem. So
Thank,
let's get with the
thank you.
program. I can
Thank
see
you.
our usual suspects here, and I can see one person that I'm happy to see his name on this platform. Magnific dude. Just give us a thumbs up because I know you can hear me. You're all warmly welcome to Opposition Unleashed. Kindly follow Antidonu. Kindly follow Comrade Wala if you're not already following Nana Kazori. It's good to see all of you. I'm glad that you're all alive and well and you have enough data and credit to listen to what Mr. Kola has to say to us. The Opposition Unleashed is for everybody who is opposed to this government. And yes, sometimes we've had people who are from the APC. We allow them speak so that we can actually get a feel of what they're saying so that we're not just all in our own head and in our own space. But we all know that most of us here are definitely pro the opposition. Take it away, Mr. Kola. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Nana. I should start.
Yes, sir. Please start. The floor is yours.
I'm used to being asked questions.
Okay, you know what? Let me
Okay.
kick off that. Let me kickstart that process. Okay,
Thank
so
you, Auntie.
I of course, like all Nigerians who are politically aware, I've been hearing rumors about PO pairing with Kwankwaso. Of course, there's even an OK movement for that purpose. But the bombshell, and I of course had been hearing that PTOB may not stay in ADC. The bombshell dropped last night. And I want to ask you, how did you react when you heard that they have skipped over to NDC? Were you expecting it or were you blindsided?
I'm still to this moment I'm still reacting, don't know, because I found it extremely strange that the people could come together with an agenda that was so clear, just to save Nigerians from these pains, from this anguish. And suddenly, people just went back on their words and returned us to the space we were in 2022 and 2023. I find that very painful. And I say this with every sense of responsibility.
Okay. Um, of course, there are also obedience and Kwankwasias who are not too happy with it either. Some people say anywhere Kwankwaso or Obi go, they will go, even if it's to the moon. But there are some who are a little bit tired and a little bit sad and a little bit quiet this morning after last night's announcement. Um, do you think, Kola, that ADC can survive? I suppose that there are two issues around this the move to NDC. One is a belief that ADC has already been so poisoned and has so many legal issues pending against it that anybody who is serious will want to escape ASAP. Um, then as the other angle, of course, is Atiku Abubakar's intransigence, the refusal to step down, which has upset a lot of people, and not just the obedience either. So I guess that was a statement. Let me just ask you straightforwardly, do you think that Atiku is partly to blame for this problem?
Well, I don't know how to apportion blames on this matter. And I say so because I don't have information in respect of anyone, and I mean anyone, walking up to Atiku Abubakar and telling him to step down. I don't have that information. I don't know if that has been discussed at any level of the ADC. And as a result of that, since such has not been done, since such efforts have not been made, I cannot sit here and blame anybody. But I worry, and I honestly do so, because I thought that everyone was in a team, and the essence of the team was to work towards rescuing this nation. So I don't want to subscribe to the issue of blaming, oh, this person is responsible for this, that person is responsible for that. Because as adults, let us leave politics aside. As adults, and at least supposedly honest people, I think we should be guided by our words. We should be guided by our actions. How can somebody join a party in less than 1 month and walk away? Is it that he didn't contemplate the focus of the organization, or was it that he didn't think, he never thought it through whether he should be a member or not? I don't understand. Then how do you make a sacrifice so huge and suddenly take a back seat or take a walk away? Don't know. You raise the issue of whether I received it in one manner or the other, and I said to you that I am still asking myself questions whether opposition politics is worth it in this climate or not. Whether when somebody is talking to you or you are following a leader and is telling you that we must go in this direction, whether you are not even putting your own life at risk because perhaps such a leader knew what he was up to or knew what he was doing. So, don't know, as I speak to you now, I speak from internal pains. You understand? Perhaps I put too much in politics, and perhaps I believe too many people that I'm not supposed to even believe at all in politics. So I will not want to stay here and blame people. Because like I said on air, on Arise, was it yesterday? As far as I'm concerned, and as far as I understand, I work directly with the national chairman of the ADC, Senator David Mark. And he's somebody I had worked with for more than 25 years. So I can say things about him for free. I do not really understand at what point that any of us can say that, oh, our expectations had not been met. I've heard
Okay.
rumor, I've heard rumor of people saying that, oh, Ibadan Summit was expected to take a decision on zoning. There was no discussant. There was no discussant in Ibadan that spoke to zoning. None. I've heard rumor that, oh, the party wasn't open. And so, because it was not open, Excellency Peter Obi was asking for a direct primary. Excellency Atiku was asking for consensus. These are not true. And I can say it anywhere and I can defend it. There's nothing, no, absolutely nothing like that. They are just made up. So I'm not happy that rather than pull together and avoid the 2022-2023 scenario, we are playing back that same scenario. And I want to say, with every sense of responsibility, that we are taking Nigerians, as opposition politicians, we are taking Nigerians for a ride, and it's unfair.
As somebody, I mean, as I said right at the beginning of this show, one of the things I found appealing about you is your straightforwardness. I'm a very straightforward person too. Furthermore, I did not grow up in Nigeria, and I have to tell you, I don't like Nigerian style politics. I share your reservations and wonder, really, I'm beginning to wonder whether I should even be involved at all. What I mean by that is, I'm a journalist. It is my job to comment on what's going on and report what's going on. I'm allowed to have an opinion because I'm not a news reporter. I'm a sort of senior leader writer kind of person. But I am feeling more and more detached from the process because I just don't like the way Nigerian politics is conducted. I don't like the fact that one minute I'm making a supportive YouTube video about PO's role in ADC and whether he should be partnering in Kwankwaso or not. And then the next minute, I'm told that they've moved to another party. And this is after, we've done Labour, we've done ADC, we've done NDC, all within the space of 4 months. Um, I know it's complicated, but my heart isn't really in all this Nigerian mago jumping from one place to another. I have to tell you straight. Um, so, Kola, so you're feeling a little bit disillusioned about this time.
Yeah, before we had the ADC, I was almost winding up, particularly when the rancorous situation in PDP led to a situation in which adults were being beaten up in the party secretariats.
That was
Respectable,
terrible. I remember that.
respectable gentlemen. And
Yes.
the moment and even at that, I still felt like, oh, we can get over this. Then we had a situation in which disclaimers were being produced about people who had diligently served this country on both sides. You wake up in the morning, you saw a disclaimer from the same party against each other. And when it got to this level, I have grown up children. I feel that it will not be tidy, it will be most indecent for any of my children to call me and say, Dad, I say yes. I say, what did you steal? Where did you rob? And because I saw your disclaimer on the internet. And because this was going on without respect, I took a pullback. I withdrew my membership of the PDP. And thereafter, the issue of ADC started. And I was like, why don't I just go back to journalism? Do I need this? I mean, because I really couldn't comprehend it. I was born here, I was raised in this country. My foster dad was a politician. And from a tender age, I had gotten involved in politics in the Second Republic. So I really can't understand what is happening to the country. Or however, my leaders spoke to me. You can't give up on the country. You can't do this. You can't do that. Why don't you give this a try? You see, there are notable people who are coming and they want to come together. Names started dropping, and we find ourselves where we are. And for me, I asked myself a question always: Is it the country? Is it this country we are going to leave behind for the generation that is coming behind? It should be somewhat of a concern to all of us. Whether you are in your 40s, you are in your 50s, you are in your 60s, what is happening now must be corrected. Otherwise, only God will help us.
Okay, so that is it. So for me, I'm not happy about this move to NDC. I'm not sure, first of all, I'm not even sure that NDC is immune from some of the legal problems that that they're missiles that they're directing at ADC. And I'm just not sure. I haven't had time to absorb the news properly yet, even though I was kind of expecting it, because I had heard rumors. And we've had Senator Dixon on this platform twice in the past couple of months. As soon as NDC was founded, we brought Dixon on as a discussant and as a special guest. He told me privately as well that he thought he might wind up becoming a vehicle for Obi. At that time, he didn't mention Kwankwaso. So it's funny because I shouldn't be in shock, but I still am. I think, despite my advanced age and the fact that I've been exposed to Nigerian politics for the past 25 years, I I still can't quite get over the way Nigerian politicians behave. I'm horrified by Tinubu's behavior, disgusted, in fact. But I do wonder whether PO shouldn't have stayed in the Labour Party and fought it out there. It was Labour that took him quite far in 2023. In fact, I believe that he won the election in 2023, but was a declared number three. But anyway, whether he didn't win or he won, he went pretty far in 2023. He won Lagos, he won Abuja. And I know that Labour Party was sabotaged. I know. I was there. I saw what they were doing to turn Labour into a toxic environment that would be bad for Obi. But I still feel that he should have stayed there, that he and Dati, Baba Ahmed, should have stayed together and fought it out and shown that they cannot be uprooted by all kinds of cheap saboteurs. That's just my opinion. When he moved to ADC, I said, okay, oh, okay. I now started trying to, talk, uh, talk the ADC talk. After all, I have friends like you, and there are other friends who are in ADC. And and then just as I'm adjusting myself to the thought that they've moved, they're moving again, you know?
Hmm.
So I'm not happy. Maybe let everybody come and abuse me, but I'm not happy about this development. So maybe I'll get used to it, Kola. So the second thing, I'm doing a lot of talking, but then I'm in a very agitated frame of mind. The second thing I want to ask you, Kola, do you think that the ADC can recover from the legal challenges that are being mounted against it?
Well, I say this not because I subscribe to the ADC, but I will say this because of my understanding of what is happening within. I believe that the ADC will surmount its legal challenges, and my reasons are not far fetched. Well, I've heard people talk about the fact that, the remark ought not to have appealed the Nafi Bello's judgment, Justice Nwite decision on Nafi Bello. First and foremost, I am not a lawyer, but I can read and I can write, and I can also reason. Okay, Nafi Bello went to court before Justice Nwite at the Federal High Court and said that the remark should be
Nafi
stopped
Bala,
from
sorry.
being. Sorry,
Nafi
Nafi
Bala,
Bala.
sorry.
Thank you,
Yes,
Nafi
thank
Bala. And said that Senator Mark and Aregbe should be stopped from being chairman and national secretary. And the court replied before Justice Nwite and said, you can't do that because you don't have the jurisdiction. Lawyers who are here will understand better. You don't have the jurisdiction to carry out this act. So because of that, that predicated on section 70, what? 8 or 73. I can't be sure. Which says that no court will entertain political matter. I think section 80 also. Will entertain any political matter. So relying on that, they went to court and said, no, you can't do this to us. But the Justice of the Federal High Court, Justice Nwite, assumed jurisdiction and said that the remark, and he gave a judgment on the side of the remark that he will hear the matter against the remark that he will hear the matter, and the remark and Shola proceeded to the Court of Appeal on the issue of preliminary objection, not the name, not the substantive matter. So they proceeded to the Court of Appeal and said, look, we have told the Justice Nwite of the Federal High Court, based on plethora of judgments, that he cannot enter into this matter because it's purely political. And
Okay,
Justice Nwite,
Kola, let me just, sorry to slightly interrupt you there. Keep the legalities
It's
to a
fine.
minimum because most people don't really understand. Okay, just give me an
that's the more
overview.
reason, don't
Mm,
know,
yes.
because people don't understand and they jump into conclusions. That's why at every opportunity that I have, I try to make people. I'm not a lawyer. I'm an ordinary. I don't know anything about law. But when the judge take a decision and it goes to a higher court and not to another higher court, and the decision is taken at that level, we should be able to reason it out. But I abide
Okay.
by your decision.
Okay. I understand.
Okay.
Excuse me, Nana. Can I
Peter,
just ask Comrade Walla to comment because he is inside ADC too, and I want to know what he
okay.
thinks of Peter Obi's and Kwankwaso's move. Kola has expressed
Okay.
disappointment and puzzlement. He's kind of like
Mm,
bewildered. Kola is
yeah.
bewildered. hmm Comrade,
No
what words would
problem.
describe your reaction?
And after Comrade, we will now open the floor to our guest listeners who have requested the mic. Thank you. Is
Comrade,
Comrade with
Okay.
me?
Yes. Sorry. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Kola. Honestly, I listened to you with keen interest, and I love that. So
Thank you.
now the situation we're in, I love the fact that you have confidence in how the possibilities of ADC surmounting these challenges. But do you think do you think the time frame is not a challenge? Because this is the angle which a lot of people are looking at. Yeah, many people believe yes, they might actually go through this. I mean, get over these challenges or these problems, but the timing is where it is critical. What will you say about this?
Okay, thank you. As
Yeah.
you are aware, on the day of that judgment, INEC restored David Mark and Aregbesola and other officers of the party to their respective positions. And immediately, because the party is already set to carry out to perfect its activities, immediately the party notified INEC about its primaries. You know, you are required to notify INEC within 21 days to tell them about your programs. And that was what helped, because that had been done in the past. That was what enabled us to have our congresses and also our convention. So now we are going into primary election and the convention in which we will elect a presidential candidate. So INEC has been notified of this, and it has also fallen within the range of the required 21 days notice. So I believe that the party will sail through on this. I've also heard people talk about, the decision by Justice Joyce Abdul Malik saying that the Congress, what's it called? The chairmen of the respective states.
Can we hear Mr. Kola or is it just me?
I think Kola has just dropped off or
Yeah.
it's just a temporary network issue.
All
Okay.
right.
Yeah, I think it's this network. They can see that
Um,
too.
Let me just quickly
Okay.
point out,
So,
Comrade. I asked you how you reacted to Peter B's defection, not for more
Oh,
legal
oh,
details. Can I please hear
oh,
your
oh,
own
okay.
opinion?
Okay. So sorry about that. I actually missed that because I had a call coming in at the same time. I was trying to stop the call. And that was when I had, okay, Conrad, over to you. If you notice, I wasn't coming like immediately.
Yes.
So sorry about that. So I think maybe after he is done, I'll come back to that. I love that. In fact, I want to speak about that. Thank you.
On the May-
Okay.
on May 20 on the May 29, 2027. But we are going to do the election in January 2027. Why are we not waiting till May 29 2027 before we do the election that will remove the president. So this is what happened. But they went to court and said another thing. However, we have cleared that. Also, don't forget, people have also spoken to me about the former presidential candidate of the party, Dumebi Kachuku. Dumebi went to court. He lost in the court of first instance. The matter was dismissed. He has gone to the court of appeal. We are in the court of appeal. Leke Abejide, my brother from the same state and the same zone, member representing Yagba Federal Constituency, went to court and said that he is the leader of the party and his party was stolen. But we can all see and we all remember that the face of President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, came out in the open and in the afternoon, in the daytime, and declared that Leke Abejide should remain in the ADC, fight them, and scatter it. Meanwhile, they have kept a ticket for him, which he has assumed now. As we speak now, Leke is a candidate of the APC in Yagba Federal Constituency. So I believe that has put an end to his own matter. I'm also aware that a forum was suddenly registered and called Forum of Former Lawmakers, who is in court now to demand the deregistration of ADC and some other political parties. Truth of the matter, in spite of the fact that the AGF and Minister of Justice, Fagbemi, has got himself involved in that matter, we are waiting to see that part of the constitution that will support the deregistration of political parties. The conditions are very clear as demanded by law. The condition is that you must be able to win a local government council, you must be able to win a chairmanship. It's either, not that all these conditions are tied. And there are no conditions, as provided for in the 1999 constitution as amended, that ADC as a political party has not crossed. None.
Okay. Thank you so
Okay,
much,
so
Mr. Cool.
can
I'm
one
really
now
glad.
answer the question?
I'm really glad that Mr. Kola said that he loves to answer questions. So, comrade, over to you so that we can open the floor. People have requested the mic and I have brought them on. So, comrade, over to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nana. Madam Donu, let me take that question again from you. Let me feel your emotions so that
Okay.
yes.
Kola, when I asked him how he felt about Obi's defection and Kwankwaso's defection, he expressed bewilderment. That is, he was disillusioned, he was bewildered, he was disappointed.
Sure.
Can you pick 3-4 words that describe your own reaction, please?
Okay. Thank you. I get that. Thank you for that opportunity, for this opportunity to really express or to tell you or to tell Nigerians how I felt. Honestly speaking, I wasn't surprised, even though I felt okay, it has finally happened. It took me back to, I think I made this challenge open on some of my writings. I was like, Obi or nothing. In fact, I even played around with Obi and I changed the letters into, it gave another word like Ibu, but I was looking for some people's trouble, like Nana. Now, the thing is this: why on earth would, in the first place, there was a campaign that says Obi or nothing? So if these people can walk into ADC and now discover that Obi or nothing, it was rather too direct, the best they could do was to now say, okay, is Obi or nothing, but in a silent manner so that we don't get to raise any issue. Now, lucky enough, Kwankwaso stepped in with his own level of politicking. I don't want to use desperation this time around. Let me just use the word politicking. The truth is this. The sudden formation of this strange alliance, or let me say alliance from strange bedfellows, like we usually say, I felt, I was like, are these people serious about the leadership that they're out for? First and foremost, all of them came into ADC and discovered that ADC is having a legal battle. Now, have they paid any attention to now say, how can they contribute in bringing this? I was in Kwankwaso's house when, with some, as a group, it was that protest days, if you remember. And I was privileged to notice that those party officials that actually went to court also visited him to also let him see. That was because that was immediately when he got into the party. So that incident, I remember when Kwankwaso met with them and came out to attend to us. He also made it like he wished these issues can be resolved. That was the expression to us. But when we drove out, some of us were interpreting that expression. I mean that statement from him. So I was not surprised when I started seeing okay. Now, Kwankwaso is somebody who is desperate, who has lost Kanu. Let's say he has lost Kanu. Yes, I'm going to say it, and people should listen to this. The issue of Kwankwasia in Kanu, there are, obviously, if you check the database of Kwankwasia, the crowd you witness in every occasion of Kwankwasia does not in any way, let me say what they have in their database when it comes to party members, registered party members. They don't have registered party members per se. They have people, Kano people, as registered party members. But when it comes, do they have a database for Kwankwasia movement alone? This question, I don't know if people can understand the difference between the Kwankwasia movement and the party which is governing Kano, which is championed by the Kwankwasia movement. These are two different things. Now, because in the Kwankwasia movement,
Comrades, I
as we are
asked you how
speaking,
you felt
madam,
about their defection. I don't want a lecture on the history of this alliance.
no.
And
You know
please, there
what?
are
There's a division.
waiting to ask our guest questions. He said he will be with us for 1 hour.
But you
No, I
people
will
can,
try. I will
I will
try.
let the mic,
Kola, you're not going anywhere till you've answered a few questions.
I will let the mic to them, but promise me, because
Yes,
this is a platform that opposition members need to understand what is happening. A lot of Nigerians are not at home, but they are on this platform. When I say they're not in Nigeria. They can't tell exactly who are these people. But I'm not speaking about Obi, I'm speaking about Kwankwaso because I'm from the north and I lived in the middle of Kwankwasia for years. So what I'm trying to say is, I think this information will help, but I'm going to, for the sake of our audience that are going to speak, let me hold on, but nobody should ask me or attack me on any question because I've not landed on this. Nana, take it up and give it to
no
whoever.
problem, sir. We'll make sure nobody attacks you. They'll ask
And I'm
No,
coming back to that,
no.
we
Nana,
have
I'm
no
coming back to
problem.
that.
No problem whatsoever. So right now, we have somebody called
I'm
Joel.
talking.
Nana, hold on.
Comrade.
She's talking.
No. There
Yes.
has to be some etiquette in this matter. Comrade, can you answer the question, please?
Oh, okay.
How do you
I should
feel
continue.
about
That's what you're saying.
Kwankwaso and Obi leaving AGC? Are you sad? Are you angry? Are you
Honestly,
indifferent?
I wasn't surprised. I was not surprised because I know that both of them are actually, they need to be schooled and those also need to school their own audience. That is one thing about Nigerian politics, about what's the moment that we are all in Nigeria and what is the most important thing for anyone seeking to be the president of this country should be, not the noises. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Nana, please, over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, comrade, for your contribution. There was someone whom I had brought up. Somehow we've lost him. So I'm going to bring up Value Prince. No, Value Prince, before you come up, there was Gentle Soul. Gentle Soul, please unmute your mic. Introduce yourself. Keep it short, keep it fast, and respectable. Thank you. Gentle Soul, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. Good evening to everyone. Good evening to the host, and to our guest in the house. So I don't know whether he was the host or was the guest who said that they are not happy, or he or she is not happy that Obi left ADC. So, but I want to ask whoever made that statement. I want to ask. Will the person be happy if Obi was not to be on the ballot in 2027? I would like to have an answer to that before I proceed.
But I
Thank you.
was the one. I was the one who
Okay.
said that.
Okay.
I didn't like it.
Okay. So will you be happy, or would you be happy if Obi was not to be on the ballot in 2027? Since you are not happy that he left ADC, would you be happy if he was not to be on the ballot in 2027?
The answer is no. I would not be happy if it was not
Okay.
on the ballot. But let me just say, and I wasn't happy when he joined ADC either. By the my problem is that my belief that had he stayed in Labour, he would have won if he had fought Labour. Do you understand?
Okay,
Yes.
okay. I understand you. Now you see, Labour Party problem is a different problem altogether. I mean, it was somehow to me it was somehow impossible to fight. See, Peter Obi is not the he's not the Labour Party chairman. He's not. There was absolutely nothing he could do to restore Labour Party. I mean, sometimes you guys think that it's easy. I mean, you guys see these things as very easy to resolve. There are some issues that are not so easy to resolve, and we need to respect. I mean, Peter Obi is not a baby. He has been in politics quite a long time, and he's a man of integrity. Before he left Labour Party, he knows the reason why he left. I mean, if it's something that he could have stayed and fight, he would have stayed. This is a man that does not compromise. So please, he left, and that was very okay. And then he joined the coalition. And then at the end of the day, he realized that no, if he stayed there, because they have always made his intention known that no matter what, he is going to be on the ballot. He has made his intention known that he was going to be on the ballot no matter what. You
All
understand? And
right.
then
So thank you.
sorry.
Please, can you land so that other people can join in the conversation? Time is running.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank
So
you. Thank you, Peter.
my in conclusion, I'm very much happy, very happy that he left ADC, because the feeling I had was that if he had remained in ADC, he would have been stuck there, because at the end of the day, Atiku would have been given the presidential ticket in the consensus way, and then he would have been stuck there, and of course, he would have just supported the ticket. And then that's just it. So I'm very much happy that he left on time, at the right time. He left. So if anyone
Gentle,
disagrees with that, that's their own cup of tea,
gentle,
and that's their
Thank
own
you.
business.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Thomas
gentle,
Simon. Thank you for
gentle.
your
Can I ask
contribution.
a question, please, gentle? Be-
Gentle Soul, please unmute your mic.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. Peter Obi
Good to hear
announced
from you.
Peter
Good
Obi
evening.
announced his transition to ADC on December the 31st. Okay. What has changed since December 31st and now? Did he think on December 31st that Atiku will give him the ticket? Has anything changed since that time? My argument is, why join in the first place knowing how stubborn Atiku is?
Gentle Soul, please unmute your mic.
Okay.
No,
Yeah. Okay. Can I go on?
Yes, please. Auntie Dono asked you a question. Did you hear her?
Yeah, I heard what she said. Okay.
Yeah.
I think there was a clamor. Nigerians were clamoring for him to join the coalition, because we all saw what happened in 2023, and everyone felt that there was no need to share these votes, because if they had come together in 2023, probably maybe if you add Obi's vote and Atiku's vote, they could have they'll win the election. So they saw the need for them to come together, everyone to come together, right? And so Nigerians called on Obi to, when they started the coalition, they tried to convince Obi to join, and Nigerians also tried to with they told Obi to accept it, join the coalition. Obi listened to the voice of Nigerians and he joined the coalition. I know that it took a lot of convincing before Obi accepted to join that coalition. Not really because he wanted to, but because he felt like, okay, let him try, let him give a try to it and see how it goes. So that was what made him to join. And then at the end of the day, he's a man that, like I said, he's a man of high integrity, and he saw that, okay, somehow these are people that are somehow compromised, and they are not going to stick to what is meant to be done or what should be done right or properly. So at the end of the day, the man have to leave. Please,
Thank
thank
you
you.
very much. Thank you. So, can call me Samuel, unmute your mic. Let's have your question for our guest or your contribution. Please keep it short, keep it concise, keep it polite. Thank you.
Okay, good evening, guest. My question is simple. I just want to ask, I don't know who will take this on, but I'm thinking Mr. Wala should, because
Okay.
he's speaking for the ADC. Do you, do you think the ADC will be able to field the candidates, or are we underestimating the current legal battles? That's basically my question, because
Thank you.
sometimes so this is just a comment. I think because we are outsiders, we are over analyzing with incomplete information. No politician takes decision that is not in their best interest. So that's basically my question. Will
Can I
ADC be able
suggest?
to successfully field a candidate looking at the current legal battles? Are they going to survive? Why will
Can
experienced politicians jump ship because of this fear? I mean, politics has always been fearful, but why would they jump ship? Because we are making it look like it was an irrational decision. So that's all. Thank you.
I
Thank you
suggest
for
that
your
caller
question.
answers that question? Caller, can I? He said he didn't know who to address this question to. I
Yes,
suggest
you did.
that since caller is our special guest and doesn't have much time, he can answer this question. Then Comrade can talk on it later.
And buttress it. Fine.
Well, thank you very much, Jonu. You recall that I was making efforts to answer that question before now. But I can say, like I had said before, ADC will be in this election. And like the national chairman of ADC declared, Senator David Mark declared, around Thursday, I think on Thursday or Wednesday, he said that ADC will be on the ballot. And we believe that ADC will be on the ballot. As we are speaking now, the process that will enable ADC to be on ballot has commenced. We have started the sale of forms. We already have dates for the respective primaries. And the leadership of the party has been restored. And INEC must take notices and do political businesses with ADC. So I believe, and I strongly do so, that in the light of this, ADC will be on the ballot. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you very much,
Nana.
Mr.
Nana, he was specific if ADC will field in a candidate. So I think being in a ballot, yes, that is one part of the question. And the second part is, yes, can ADC field in that candidate? And I'm sure he's interested in that candidate. Yes, ADC will fill in a candidate because that is what takes ADC to the ballots as well, my brother. Sorry, sir. I just have to add this to the young man. Thank you.
Thank you very much, comrade, for that addition. Value Prince, please unmute your mic and share either your contribution or your question for our guest or for any of our hosts. Thank you.
I'm being here. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Good evening. We
Okay.
can hear you.
Okay. My name is Emmanuel. By name here, Value Prince. My own thought and contribution to the discourse so far is personally, this is just my own opinion. I got the news of Peter Obi's defection from ADC to NDC with mixed feelings, though. When he moved to ADC, I wasn't too relaxed with it, knowing the fact that people that are in ADC, the likes of Atiku, Amechi, and the rest. But then it's a coalition, and we needed it to have as a government at the moment out in the next election. Yeah, but his movement, I'm also looking at it from this angle that presumably that the issues that were coming up in the ADC could be, this is me speaking, I'm not an insider, but from an outsider perspective, looking at the way things have been going from LP to ADC, could it not be that because P2B was in ADC that met these series of litigations to be up? This is something that me also am thinking. Now, he might have seen that due to, because that's part of the reasons that was given, due to the series of litigation with ADC, he feels that there's another place to go. And if we are reading the news, so far between yesterday and today, there has been this man from Adamawa who is also raising issues about NDC, the registration and all of that. So my thought is P2B leaving ADC to another party. Yes, it could be for him so that he can have a chance to, be on the ballot in 2027. Yes, that's fine. Now, if we said, okay, let him remain in ADC, let's not forget that the judiciary, as we see it today now in Nigeria, has already been bought over. We know, this issue of party stuff is not something that it's a political issue. It's not something that the court should have given attention to or entertained in the first place. But they have done that. So for me, my thinking is P2B moving to NDC for him is so that he can secure a space in 2027 ballot election. But we all know what happened in 2023. It
All right.
was a it was a clear day robbery. I participated in that election heavily, but then at the more point that we were not able to defend our vote. This is where the matter is, not moving from here to, you can run, but the issue is there must be a structure on place, on ground to defend the people's vote. If we are not ready to defend the vote, I've just told myself that, see, I invested my emotions, everything in 2023, it affected me even up till today. And I've just told myself, see, that day it's either I just go cast my vote and go away, or I will not go, because we must be able to cast these votes and defend it. So personally, I'm looking beyond the movement. The person that a good number of persons believe in his vision, idea of a new Nigeria, we should rally around him, party irrespective of the party, to rally
All right.
around him
Thank
and
you.
get this thing done.
Value
And
Prince, you have to come in now. We get what you're saying. We get the gist. Thank you for all your contributions, your emotions, whether or not you would walk. We get it all, but other people need to. You need to yield the mic. So thank you so much for your contribution. Please, E-Justice, unmute your mic. Please keep it short, concise, so that other people have a choice, have an opportunity to speak. We don't have very much time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nana. Good afternoon. I think
Welcome.
I wasn't surprised that PO left ADC. Reason being that from the onset, PO had expected ADC to come out playing. There were some foundational issues that ADC were dragging their legs to address. The issue of zoning was critical, and they failed to address that issue from the onset, unlike other parties, even PDP that was in turmoil. Some other parties have came out clearly and say, we're zoning our presidency to the south. So ADC keep on modeling the waters.
I'm sorry. I have a question. I'm glad you brought this up. I also do know that the ADC, and there are two ADC chieftains here. It would be good for them to respond to us. I am aware that ADC kept saying that zoning didn't exist in the constitution. Yes,
Yeah, but it's a
Mr. Tina?
gentleman's agreement, isn't it?
Yeah, but then there's a constitution. Which one overrides? Even in the courts, they'll tell you. You understand? So I'd like to know what the situation was with that. E-Justice, thank you for bringing that up.
Nana,
Yes, sir.
Nana, you took this man's mic, and you started throwing a question to allow him to learn. Then you can take up that. Sorry, this is a point of order.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you. Yes.
E-Justice,
You might go on.
Okay.
E-Justice,
Yeah. So,
Justice, not
yeah,
you might.
I heard what you said.
thank you.
Everything shouldn't be under constitution for
Oh,
us to respect it. Zoning has come to stay in Nigeria, knowing the kind of politics that we play in Nigeria. So everybody is really conscious of that. The power has to rotate between the South and the North. And after 8 years of Buhari, you don't expect the Southerners to just sit there and wait for another Northerner to take over after 4 years. That is totally unfair. Any reasonable person or politician should say, you know what? No, let these guys have their 8 years. I wait. And especially Atiku has been a serial contestant. It's just as if presidential ticket is made for him in Nigeria. Every election he comes up and hijack the presidential ticket and go there and lose it. So the Southerners were not ready for that. And P2B was following those sentiments. So the zoning thing, ADC shot themselves in the leg because that issue have come out plainly. Even if they say, we're zoning this, we're leaving it open for every Nigerian. So every politician that have that intention to contest should know from day one, this is what it is. If they want to stay, they stay. If they want to move, they move. So I think blaming P2B, he was fighting for his own political interest. That's what every politician do. He has said it repeatedly, I want to be on the ballot. This is
excuse
a
me,
guy that
Okay,
felt that he
but
won the last
E-Justice,
election. And people are
Auntie
not
Dami,
trying to
please,
respect what he achieved in the last in the last election. He achieved a lot and he deserved that respect. And he felt that people are not giving him that respect, even within the ADC itself.
okay, E-Justice, I think right now we will have to move on to the next person. But the reason I
can
asked
Kola
that
answer that?
question, pardon me?
Can Kola answer that point? It's a separate and very important point. That the ADC failed to meet up with the challenge of addressing the zoning issue and alienated an entire 50% of the country.
Well, I don't agree that ADC failed to take a decision on zoning. I think the party has not reached the point in which it will take a decision
Really?
on zoning. Yes, and the unfortunate thing is that what the party feared most has now befallen it. And I say this because in the ADC, if you had at any point in time said you are zoning to the south, there's a tendency that people who believe that from the north and they want to run an election would disagree and they could have moved away. If you also say zoning now is to the north, there's a tendency that those who come from the south could also move away. But let me explain something that often come up in the political arena, an argument that comes up. People will ask, they'll normally ask, what are we zoning? What do we have? Is somebody who has something that can talk about zoning. You don't have anything and you say you want to zone. But that is by the way. But I know it as a fact that the ADC was trying to see how they can agree on zoning or sides without creating problem for the party. I also heard somebody talk about issue of consensus that Yeah, what's it called? That it's because His Excellency PO didn't believe in consensus. That's why he took a walk. I don't agree. I don't agree because the Electoral Act 2026 provides for election via consensus or by direct primary. So the consensus issue is in the law that's going to govern the 2027 election. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kola. Atta, it's always good to see you. Atta is one of our regulars. Thank you everyone for hanging in. Atta, please unmute your mic and give us your you're laughing. Your contribution or your question. Keep it short, keep it concise, polite. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Good day to everybody. So I have two questions. The first one is, one of the rumors circulating is Peter Obi is unwilling to, quote and unquote, mobilize delegates. And some people are saying, okay, why if you are spending so much, if you are spending billions on charity, going to schools, nursing homes and paying money, doing boreholes, like estimates say he has spent between 3 and 5 billion on charity from May, as in after the elections. That's a huge amount of money. So the question I'm wondering is, if you're ready to spend that on charity and document it, which is obvious that you're trying to affect public opinion. He's a nice person, granted, but for him to document what he's giving, he's indirectly trying to affect public opinion. So if you're ready to spend that amount on these acts of charity or philanthropy, why don't you just hold your nose and mobilize the delegates if that was an issue? It's just a question, general question. Why don't you just mobilize the delegates, and then when you get into the system, you fight the corruption? Because is it really possible that a squeaky clean person can get up there? Then the second question is, there are rumors also that he's always, quote unquote, scared of direct primaries because Atiku is allegedly the godfather of party politics, blah, blah, blah. But I feel that if he had actually gone into it, he will still get a lot of votes. I don't underestimate him that, he would lose woefully, which is what people are accusing him of avoiding. So is there something else that we, the ordinary people who are not into deep politics, are not seeing? Or he's just being too careful? Thank you.
Auntie
Atta,
Donu, would you like to respond to Atta?
yes, I would. I would
Thank
like to
you.
attest. That is a very, very, very good question. I myself have wondered the same thing. If you are going to be donating to maternity hospitals and boreholes in Kafanchan and all over the country, why can't you just put that money together and spend it on a structure or on mobilization? Um, Dele Momontu, who was here last week, told me that I can't remember. I will give you the exact figures later. But I think he told me that in 2015, Buhari spent 11 billion on polling agents alone. And that was 10 years ago. So there are lots of logistical issues, areas where PO is weak. Labour Party didn't have polling agents in every unit in 2023. I just feel that the money should be directed, should go in a different, should be spent on different things. And I also do share your view that if he goes to primaries, he can win. He does come across as somebody who is afraid of competition. In that, him and Tinubu have a lot in common.
Can I come in here too, Mr. Madam Dunu? I like the fact that you agree with this. Can I?
Yes.
Can I
Yes,
take it up?
please, sir.
Thank you. So, you see, this is one of the problems. Atiku's history and why Nigerians see Atiku being persistent in wanting to actually be the president. Let's bring the facts to young Nigerians to understand the mistakes. And this mistake is one of Atiku's weak points in his early days of contest, till when Buhari also defeated him, was that he never built structures.
He never built structures. He only wait for elections to come and deploy his resources to that. And that was what actually faulted. That could not help him. Now, I see another person, Peter Obi, also taking that same pattern. Now, but when Peter Obi now said they were going to work with Kwankwaso, I said, I wish you also find time to build your movement. If you're not going to build party structure, you should now find time to build your movement. The movement of Obi before OK movement, it is not Obi's movement. It is young Nigerians that are angry with the present system. And because of the culture in the South, that the aggression coming from young people can be tamed and be channeled into a political platform or a political solution, unlike what we have in the North. In the North, they don't listen to the young people's, they don't even harness their anger into political system or machinery that could actually solve that problem. So Peter Obi doesn't have a structure. It is Nigerians in the South that have a structure that is powering Peter Obi. And that was a mistake that Atiku made. So this is what I want young Nigerians to learn. We must be able to build structures, make sure that those structures are built based on ideology. Let us also always reflect the issues on ground so that we'll be able to be making progress, steady progress. This problem is the rallying point today of this election. Now, after this, next election should be a different issue that is actually going to be the rallying point so that we'll continue to build a country to make sure that we are growing and the economy is growing and everything is also being in the right direction. Thank you.
Thank you. Motion
I,
C, please unmute your mic.
can I just ask, Nana, before we continue, because my memory is not, I'm not sure. Has Peter Obi ever faced primaries in any party? That's not sure.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Permit me to laugh small.
Not that I'm aware of. Motion C, please unmute your mic. Ask your question or your contribution. Short, concise, polite. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Just a quick one. Everyone have spoken very well, and I'm enjoying this space so far. Thank God that Mr. Kola here. I saw you on the Rise News today when you asked. I think there was a mistake ADC made from the onset. Someone has already pointed that out. Number one is there was no
Okay, so if
clear.
someone has pointed it out, can you give us so that we have something new to talk about? Let's not
Yeah.
repeat what you said.
Then
Thank you.
there are another perspective people are not talking about.
Okay.
When Atiku went to Arise News, I expected Atiku to focus on the issues, but I felt very bad that he went there to, he diminishes. When he went to TV
Motion,
station was
your line
saying
is very bad.
we've not even registered up to 3 million votes, 3 million register on ADC. So when you look at those people, it seems like they are only instead of talking about issues, they leave issues and they were attacking personal. Atiku trying to attack Rabi Kwankwaso, Rotimi trying to attack ADC as a whole, like they are yet to register to 3 million, and you're talking about obedience and all that. People out there are looking at this coalition, they are there attacking themselves because of personal issue. Point in question, 2015, when that's why sometimes I still give when the current president, Tinubu, his lifetime ambition is to become president. But he looked at the weather, the moment. He looked at right now, Buhari is the only person that can take wrestle power from. What do I do? The mood of the country and everything. He weighed all the options. He now said, let me hold my personal ambition. And he supported who? He supported Buhari. In that election, Atiku ran Rabi Kwankwaso ran and Buhari ran at the same time. But we all
Motion,
know
what
how
is
it
your
went.
question, please?
So my question is, it's not like a question, it's like let me just say my contribution to the space. Now that Obi have left to NDC and Atiku and Rotimi Amechi still in ADC, is it possible, as Mr. Kolo is here, is it possible that two of them can come together as, let's say, maybe Atiku take the ticket and Amechi takes the vice, or what the permutation can be? This
Thank
question
you
is
very
going
much
to
for that question, Mr.
President.
Collins. Thank you, Motion.
Thank you, Motion. Well, I will not sit down here and say this is the direction that the party will go. That will amount to dishonesty. It's not only Atiku that is aspiring to be president in the ADC. The former chairman of First Bank, Ayatudin, is there. Former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi, is there. Former minister, Emeka Nwajuba, is there. And then none of them have left the ADC. So, and since they all have presidential interests, it will amount to being judgmental if I sit here and say, oh, Atiku will be the one that will emerge when the party has not even had the primary election, or Atiku will choose Mr. So and so as his running mate, when the party is here to have its convention to nominate a candidate. So that is it. We have this number of Nigerians who are still out there and seeking to be president. Thank you. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kola. Please, Pepperito, unmute your mic. Thank you. Pepperito, your hand is up. Please unmute your mic. Question, contribution, please keep it short. Thank you. We can't hear you. I might have to yield the mic to someone else. No retreat, please unmute your mic. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yes, I'm happy to be added to this space. Let me start with someone
Can you
was
hear me?
saying here. Yes, I can hear you. I think someone was saying here that P2B does not contest primaries. He wants to be served a la carte, with the presidential tickets and all of that. Some we are saying that, oh, he doesn't have structures and all that. So my question is this: when we talk about structures is you and I. Structures are the humans, the people, the masses that are suffering, the people being kidnapped every day. Our parents, the aged parents that are in the village that can't even feed, those are the structures. So it pains me so much whenever I hear of transactional politics. Transactional politics is what has kept us the way we are today. And believe me, it will not go away if we don't change it. And how do we change it? We have to change it from the head. If the head is not corrupt, the tail will not be corrupt. But as far as we keep going on with the same mindset of transactional politics, we will still remain the way we are. So my question is this: is the structures we are talking about, is it not the people that we have, the people that are suffering, all the masses that are suffering and having this economic downturn, are they not the structures? Or do we have a special purpose structures that we are talking about that I don't know? Please, I want you guys to correct me. Thank you.
I would take this question, Nana,
All right.
please, if you don't mind.
Thank you, no retreat.
Please. Right. Okay. You see, please let's not talk with emotions, my brother.
Realistically, if you check Google and see what the meaning of political structure is.
Sorry, point of correction. I'm
Now,
not being
citizens,
emotional here. So we are talking facts. If you want to address me, talk with facts and not about emotion. Please, thank you.
now check your Google and read what a structure is in politics. Now, let us not misinform others because fact is on the internet. So, the citizens, the issues that are bedeviling Nigeria today, we understand this cannot be referred to as structures. What we refer to as structure, it, it is when you have the ideology, right, of a political party. Now, the ideology must be translated alongside the constitution of Nigeria. That is because that is the pillar which which is going to hold on. I mean, the system or the political party will hold on to and begin to propagate the ideology. And those champions of the ideology across from the down to the grassroots or from the grassroots upward are the ones to make sure that they become the custodians of those ideology. This is what we're referring to as structure. But the mindset of Nigerians today, when we talk about political structure, you mean like you have to be doling out money to be given. That's why you're using the word transactional. Please, the point is that what you're pointing out as structure is not structure. These are beneficiary of a good system or good governance. That's you and I. Thank you, Nana.
All right, thank you. Thank you very
Can
much.
our guest have
Pepperito,
a word in?
Pepperito.
Um, can I just add something here, please, briefly? Kola is here. He's now stayed longer than he plans to stay. So, for the next few questions, can they be directed at Kola? Let him be the main speaker, please.
Il n'y a pas de quoi. So we have Sizwe. Please ensure that your question is direct or contribution is directed at our guest, Mr. Kola. Thank you. Unmute your
If you
mic.
yes, if you have other questions for the rest of us, when Kola goes, we can continue.
Okay.
Sizwe.
Is it my turn?
Yes, it's your turn. Good
Welcome.
evening.
Please, I don't have a question for caller. I just quickly wanted to answer the last guy, Atta, that said, why does P2B
So
have to
I said,
document?
can you please
So
leave it for Kola for now? Next.
I don't understand. Like, are we
What
here
I'm
to
saying
ask
is that
only
we have a
questions?
special guest. No, what I'm
Okay.
trying to say is that we have a special guest who is going soon. He's running out of time. So let him
Yeah.
finish.
I
When
can
he goes
wait. I
his
can
way,
wait.
you can now talk to me or comrade or others. You understand?
thank you, Sizwe, for understanding. So far, there isn't anyone that has any question or has requested the mic to ask Mr. Kola anything. Okay, there's one request that just came in. No retreat. Okay, from Agambi. All right, I have unmuted. I have given you the mic. Please unmute your mic and speak. Can you hear us?
There was a guy called OTP who was reacting a lot earlier, but he's disappeared. I'm very interested to hear his own opinions whenever he comes back, if he comes back.
I hope he comes back. I've given the mic to two. I've yielded the mic to two people right now, and I'm hoping that they can unmute their mics. That is Aganbi and Osaro.
Yeah, good
Osaro,
evening. Can you
good
hear me?
evening.
Yeah,
Yes.
good
A
evening.
question for our guest, Mr. Kola, please, or a
Yeah,
contribution. Thank you.
yeah, thanks. I've been listening and following. I just have a very direct question to Mr. Kola. Mr. Kola, good evening to you. My simple question is, why didn't the ADC zone their ticket to the South, knowing fully well that the South still has one more term, which is 4 years till 2031, because it's been argued that you know um even if, for example, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. That's just my direct question to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I had answered a similar question,
I'm not
and I
hearing
said that there were.
Carol. Okay. All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Carol,
can hear
I
you,
just
sir.
okay, yes.
I can go ahead.
Yes,
Yes,
please.
please.
Thank you. So I had answered a similar question, and I said that it does appear that what the party feared most is what had happened to it. And I say so because ADC, no matter the conglomeration, no matter the coalition texture, is a new party. And there are people in the party who were scared of saying, oh, we are going north or we are going south, who believe that as we move towards the election, decision will be taken. Unfortunately, what I mean by election, as we move towards the national convention, decisions will be taken in respect of where the presidency will come from. Mind you, the process of election in Nigerian politics today is either via consensus, as provided for in the Electoral Act, is either via consensus or direct primary. So, and whichever way you go, you can take decisions among yourself to say this is the direction that will go. But to put zoning in proper, in blue and white, the party hadn't reached that stage. And even as we are speaking, as we and I are speaking now, the party still has not reached the stage of saying we will go A or B sides. And they didn't do so. Because if you say you were going, it's a new party, and even forming people together was more of a challenge, so to say. I mean, fusing people together was more of a challenge, so to say. So if you came out and say, oh, our president will come from the north, the people that came from the south will take a walk. And if you came and say, oh, our president will come from the south, there's a tendency that people who come from the north will say, oh, okay, we are not dealing, we are not here for that. So to avoid that situation, the party believed that it should take a decision towards the national convention. Unfortunately, we didn't get there.
Wow.
Okay.
Avendi, please speak.
Uh, Thank you for this opportunity to speak. But basically, my question was similar to what the last person just asked. Like, I wanted to know why, there were a lot of uncertainties around the zoning, because we understand that it's a lot of sentiment towards 2031, that when that time comes, it's going to be the turn of the north. So with a southerner in a prime position right now, I thought it was better to give it to a southerner. But since Mr. Kola has explained that aspect, I don't have any further question to ask as regard that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the way you kept it concise. D.O. Abiodun, please unmute your mic. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for the mic. I wanted to ask this question. What's the relevance of a boycott when the opposition has not established, an actual candidate, within their arrangement? Because there seemed to be, though, an alliance, but, and this is just my opinion, based on what we gathered, it seems as though the alliance had already, sort of supported a particular candidate, So, I mean, I'm trying to find out the sense in the boycott when some sort of there's been some sort of predetermination about who will, be the flag bearer of the alliance by
Okay.
even the body language and the the gesture that we saw. Thank you.
Okay, Abiodun, I'm very glad you raised this issue because that was actually the original topic for tonight. We only started talking about this defection to NDC because it was an unexpected curveball that was thrown at everybody last night. The boycott issue, I raised it. It was my idea. I'm sure other people have also come up with the idea. I said a few days ago, last week to be precise, that because the ADC, the APC and the presidency were so aggressively tainting the democratic process, that we should refuse to participate in a sham election that Tinubu is trying to force down everybody's throat. You have INEC. The chairman is clearly biased. He has refused to step down. Of course, we know he would not anyway. You have the judiciary, generally very, very biased and compromised. Then you have all the law enforcement people who are also with APC. So I just felt that if we, as AGC or NDC or PDP or anybody, agreed to participate in this process, we would legitimize it. And I just said, what if we all just step back and say we're not part of this? Let Tinubu go and crown himself dictator for life. He will now completely disgrace himself and unmask himself, and then there will be a backlash. But many people disagree with me. Many people agree with me. That was the essence of this boycott issue. So I hope that answers your question. I'm not sure it does.
Yes, he actually does. I'm sorry. I think I misunderstood the top of the space. Yeah, I think I see what you mean now. Thank you. Sorry about that. Thank you.
It's okay. Kola, since boycott was your original brief, can you please tell us why you think we should continue fighting all these very, 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 very badly behaved people who are just using us to do window dressing election?
Well, I believe that no matter what, boycott should not be a lexicon in the electioneering process. I say so because the kind of people who are occupying the polity now, if you engage in a boycott, they go ahead and declare themselves winner. They declare themselves winners. And therefore, I believe that, for instance, you saw what the ADC did when they said that we could not hold our convention, or we must not hold our convention. We went on the streets. Even though the president later came back and said, yeah, street convention on the street, it didn't matter. We achieved our purpose. And what was our purpose? Our purpose was that we must defeat the plot to resist us from having that convention and ratifying our officers. Because if we did not do that, as we speak today, even if INEC restored the party officers, the question of legitimacy will have come in. But the question of legitimacy is absent now because we had that convention. And we also had that convention because we were prepared from the onset. Before INEC took the decision to withdraw the names of our leaders from the portal, we had written to INEC, notifying them of the dates for our congresses and also notifying them for the dates for our convention. So what they wanted to do was to halt the convention in a manner that would have been left naked. We won't have had congresses. We won't have elected officers that will take over from the current ones. We won't have been able to ratify the national officers, but we did so. For me, legitimate resistance is acceptable. It's accepted. But when you run away from election and say you are boycotting, they declare themselves the winners. So personally, I do not subscribe to the notion, to the belief that one can boycott elections. You don't boycott elections. You go there and fight for it. Thank you.
But what if the election is a sham? What if they have already written results?
Well, we have had situations in the past where results were written and Nigerians will just say, oh, it's not a matter of 4 years. I blame this on poor electoral education. If you educate the electors and get them to defend their votes and give them not just during election time, over the period of time, raise their awareness and consciousness that they are being maltreated because they do not defend their votes, because their votes don't count. Because as we speak now, there's huge apathy towards the next election. And all the issues that we are raising, that we are discussing in the polity today, major contributors to the issue of apathy. So I think that much as those in power, those in the polity, those in government now, are tending us towards what will make election unlikable, I think we should also, in the course of our agenda setting and narrative also, let them understand that there will be election in this country, the election will be respected, and votes must count. I think that's the direction that we should go. Thank you.
Okay, well, Nana, my moderator, is having some technical glitches. I'm sure she'll be back soon. I'm trying to fix it from the back end. But let me just quickly say that when you have a government like this one that lacks moral credibility and may not even have won the last election in 2023, and they are so determined to cripple the opposition. They have collected 31 or 32 governors. They're still frightened. They're still afraid of a free and fair contest. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm just wondering, is it not possible that they're now going to go after NDC now that Peter has gone there?
Okay, thank you, Dono. I said this earlier in the day, and I also said it on an interview on Arise yesterday, that there's not one political party in Nigeria today, apart from the All Progressives Congress and its government, where you won't find landmines, even the NDC that they have moved into. There are landmines. So it now depends on your ability to rise and resist those landmines. If you just think that, oh, we are in a normal time, we are not in a normal time politically. So this is not a time that politicians will just feel like, oh, what is it? It's enough for us to just go and vote. No. So everybody must have their eyes and their ears opened. The painful thing about it for me is the fact that rather than build up together and pull together to resist an incoming fascist regime, the opposition is busy disintegrating. And to me, all this is about personal interests. Anyway, what is even politics in the first place? So that's my position.
Okay, so where's Comrade? Ha, everybody is falling off the platform. Sorry, even Comrade, I'm trying to re-add him. Oh, gosh. Kola, do you have an iPhone? Kola? Okay. I'm afraid I'm not having much success bringing people back on. Let me see if I can get Sizwe back on. I hope people
I
can
think
hear
I'm
me. Oh.
here. Can you hear me?
Sizwe, are you there? Okay, go ahead. I
Yeah,
can hear you.
yeah, I
Thank
think I'm
goodness.
here. So I
Yeah.
wanted to, reply Atta. I just wanted to listen then until Atta came up to say why P2B have to record himself why he's going to all these places. And this is the most one of the reasons why some of us is not we are not necessarily supporting P2B with other qualification he has, but for the sympathy of why is it that what is it about this man that whenever it gets to his turn, you guys will raise the bar. We have one woman that was going in the north, that went to the north just the other day, sharing rice billions of naira with Nigerian money and televising it worldwide. Nobody questions that. But when it comes to P2B, why wouldn't he keep the people updated Why wouldn't he keep the people updated on his movements? Why the other man went to Abu Dhabi or Dubai to go and rest? Why do we do all these things? Okay, look at now in this election, now that is decided to move, the party that he is, the former ADC, was not open about zoning. Almost every other party have decided, okay, let's give it to the South. And now he decides to we always find a means to make this man a problem. Left for me, he should just go back and go and rest. Let us have these hoodlums and criminals that we all deserve. Since everything he does, every step he takes is always at fault, we are about to question it, we are raising the bar for him. Why letting other people go? That's just what I wanted to say.
Okay, so comrades, over to you.
Thank you, ma. Yes, Nana is kept somewhere. I'm happy, so she rest because I was out there. Okay, I think very important. There was a point Mr. Kola made, which I actually loved that so much, and he pointed out that look, there is lack of electoral education, more of civil education. People should understand what, not politics, but election, critical. Some of the contributions, like the last comment, you see, in politics, it does not matter. There's what is called political maturity. Your opponents will actually deploy all kinds of arsenal. In fact, they will even they will even tempt or try to play with your emotions. Now, you must be able to control yourself. Your eyes must be on the ball. Now, if you're getting worried and you begin to feel discomfort in any form, this is actually the aim to distract you. So, in my own case, part of the electoral lessons that I am advocating for is a lot of supporters of political candidates, or especially those vying for office. We must be able to help the candidate. In what form? There are a lot of things that are being said about Obi. I'm just hearing some of these things for the first time. What does that mean? Don't keep information to yourself. In the age of social media, you should not hoard information to yourself or deny people getting to. I can tell you 90% of the youth in the North whenever you talk about Peter Obi's good side or whatever you say, is not different from any other politician. That is what the Northern youth are. So why are we divided in understanding these individuals that are going to govern the entire country? So do we have a responsibility to make sure that we also share information without actually being emotional, feeling as if this is the case, I'm leaving, I'm going to quit? No, you don't. This is politics. It's for the country. So I think in my own case, I just decide to speak in this manner so that a lot of you people that have information about who this man is, don't keep it to yourself, please. Share with us in the platform. And when we're sharing this information, let us not attack each other. And besides this, we're talking on a platform. This Opposition Unleashed is a platform for all oppositions, irrespective of which party, PDP or ADC or NDC or AP is. What's that cassava party name? So this is a platform for all of us, so that we are all gathered here in order to see how we're going to foster our way into getting the right solutions to our problems. So I think we should learn from this. Please, it's very important. Thank you.
Thank you, Comrade Wala. Osaro, PhD. I don't think the person has given their contribution. Please unmute your mic. Thank you.
I think he has.
Oh, he
I
has?
already, I already
Maybe.
asked.
If he has anything more to say, no problem. I think it's
Yeah,
Pepperito who hasn't been able to talk. But please go ahead, Osaro.
yeah. Thank you. I already asked Mr. Kola my question, but I think
Okay.
I want to just make a little contribution to what the last speaker said. You see, I want all Nigerians to know tonight that are on this platform that Nigerian election does not, start and end in the north, because so far so good. Um, Most of the time when we discuss Nigerian election, all we hear is the north, the north, the north. What about the south? Now, let me tell you something. Yeah, I think he made mention of political education. Mr. I'm from the south, and I'm very well, very, very vast when it comes to political education, because I interact and interface with the grassroots directly. Now, the south, that's the north, most often time looked down upon, contribute more to Nigeria for its sustainability. Do you understand me? And it feels so, very odd that each time we want to discuss elections in Nigeria, more often than not, we want to discuss, let it be centered around the north. No, it shouldn't be so. As a matter of fact, you and I know the contribution from the South South, the Southwest, and the Southeast. You understand? So that is why this election is very, very critical, and we have already made our stance known that no matter what happens, you see, 2027 to 2031, power isn't leaving the South. You can take this to the bank and you withdraw any, hard currency from it. Do you understand my point? So I'll just submit this way so that I don't speak passionately as if maybe I'm having conversation with my fellow politicians in the South. Thank you.
I'd like to make a point, please. This is something that somebody mentioned in the written comments in the inbox at the bottom of the page, which you can check up on. Somebody said when I complained that Peter Obi should perhaps have stayed in ADC and battled it out with Atiku in primaries, which I believe he would have won. Okay, or could, should I say, have won. Somebody left a message asking, sorry, please just give me a little bit of time. He says, oh, his name is Obi Democrat. He says, it's funny how most of you think, oh no, I'm so sorry, that's the wrong one. Um, oh dear. Okay, EZ Speaks said, if Peter Obi starts playing money politics during primaries, what is the difference between him and other politicians? Can you hear?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, that is quite an important point because people think when you say that Peter Obi should do primaries or could have done primaries, people think you're saying that he should go and match Atiku bribe for bribe and go and bribe delegates. That is assuming that they believe that that is how Atiku operates, okay? Can I just say that when I say that Peter Obi should not fear primaries, I believe that without bribing anybody, he can still win. I'm not saying he should go and bribe delegates. I am saying that he didn't spend money on bribing anybody in 2023. People voted for him, millions. So I believe that there are delegates in parties seeking change, opposition parties seeking change. There are delegates who will vote for Obi without collecting any money. Does anybody here agree with me? Please put a thumbs up or ask, join questioning if you agree with me. Or do you all believe that secretly he would have to go around paying people?
I'm not seeing
Me, I
anybody
don't
do
agree. I
any.
don't agree with you, man.
You don't agree with me? Okay. So you think he will have to
Yes.
go around secretly bribing people to win primary? Abi?
we have seen it in 2023 that the way the structure around Peter Obi was built, you could actually, if you blame Tinubu, you must also blame Peter Obi for how they run their campaign in 2023. But I don't want us to go into that today. For the sake of our guest that is here, if he goes, we can begin to
I believe
exchange.
I believe that Kola has been either he has been kicked off this platform by a technical glitch or he has quietly left without saying goodbye. Because I'm not seeing his
No,
name.
as the he's here. He's here.
Kola, where you doing now?
Except if he had this similar, because I was also seen with my mic, but then I wasn't able to, so I have to request the mic again. So maybe if he's experiencing this same problem, I would advise that he goes back and requests the mic again, sir. Mr. Kola, you can do that, sir.
I'm calling him.
There are some answers to Antidono's question here.
Okay, please.
Tunji Michael says delegates will get logistics money. Stanley Ndubisi says delegates expect their pay. So they're responding to Antidono's question without
I'm not
using
talking
the...
about, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not talking about expenses like transport money. I'm talking about the kind of packages that delegates get. Bribe, open bribe, which is the norm. I've been a close observer of Nigerian politics at close quarters since 1999. Through the Odili years in Rivers State, the Goodluck Jonathan years, the Yaradua years, I've seen it all. I've been to quite a few conventions. I've spoken to quite a few delegates. Most of them get a straight bribe. I'm not talking about transport money.
Okay, there's another response here
You're
from
right.
Macnon. There's another response here to Antidono from Macnon Ali Olu. Okay, anyways. From Macnon, it says there are no delegates in the direct primaries at Donokubara. All registered party members are eligible to vote in a direct primary. Delegates system has been expunged. How on earth will Atiku bribe over 3 million registered ADC members? Please, let's stop this.
That's a good answer. You see, we're here to be
Very good
educated.
point.
We're here to be educated as well as to express opinions. So thank you for that. However, I do believe that money still changes hands even when it is only party members who are voting. I believe that party leaders in LGAs are given money to deliver block votes. Am I right?
So,
You are, but the fact that this is with this generation, I think this is the direct primaries that most young people are going to participate.
yeah.
So let's wait for it to happen
Mm.
so that we can now come back here and say, yeah, money have exchanged hands and block votes and even you're right. You're right. Let me just concede. You're right. This is Nigeria.
Tunji Michael says everything is classified under bribe. It's tagged logistics money politically. So it's a mix. It's a modge podge of Abiodun, please, you can unmute your mic and give us your
Paula,
contribution. If you can hear us, please remember to follow Antidonu, follow Mr. IG Wala. Thank you very much. And let's follow each other on the platform. Please unmute your mic. BO.
Yes, Madam Kubara, to be honest with you, I didn't think there was going to be any primaries, and my conclusion is drawn
okay,
from
can I just
the,
quickly interrupt? Caller called me on the
yes.
other line, said that he had quietly left. I should say goodbye on his behalf. I begged him to come back and say goodbye for himself. So let us see if he will come back. Continue, please.
Yes. Well, to tell you the truth, I didn't think there was going to be primaries in the ADC coalition because even
Okay.
after the judgment of the Nigerian Supreme Court, well, I thought they had about 11 days or 12 days as before 10th of May. And if you consider the proceeding, look, I had a lot of concern about the way the ADC legal team went about that actual matter, from the Federal High Court all the way to the Supreme Court. I was really concerned about their methods. And I had been reflecting about why they adopted the method that they used. Not quite very legally correct, right? And this is just my opinion. Many legal practitioners in Nigeria share that opinion too. But if I tie it with what happened recently, I may just conclude that perhaps it may have just been, a mastermind to bring this entire coalition to a place where they have to just resolve it with you know, um, a consensus candidate, you know. And if I were to be Peter Obi or any other member of the coalition, I may be a little concerned, because uh, from the order of the appellate court to the order of the Supreme Court, it was clear that this would ultimately take some time, and they may fall very close to election deadlines where a primary could no longer be conducted, and they may just go for a consensus candidate. That poses risk to everybody that wants to get the ticket. They may not have the opportunity to prepare for that election. They may not have the opportunity to galvanize their own support base to go in there and vote for them, so they can emerge as the flag bearer. So I think naturally any of those candidates may just want to walk away, because especially if they know that they may not be able to muscle influence in that house in a consensus process. So I think any candidate, if I was one of those candidates, I'd probably walk away too, because now the Supreme Court has just made a judgment, and the ADC management is back the way it was before, and they only have a few days to 10th of May. A primaries is not practicable, and they will most likely do a consensus process. If I was one of those candidates, I'd walk away, because I know that with the big wigs there and with the dollarizing that we know that often happen in Nigeria, sessions like this, especially if I'm not going to spend my money, I will not be able to influence, any vote, any delegates in that house. So I think what Peter Obi did is the most smartest thing any politician will do, because his policies has always been this way. From 2022, what happened in PDP, we could tell that the man will simply not be involved in anything that is not going by the book. And this short time that they had, clearly there was not going to be a primaries, there was going to be a consensus process. It was clear as day that the swing might go article, and any smart politician will immediately walk before that actually happens. Okay, so that's why I think that what Peter Obi did was the
So
smartest
let me
move.
let me cut you short,
Yes.
Abiodun.
I was finding it difficult to breathe because you repeated that and repeated that and repeated
Okay.
that. Thank you, Madam Jordan, for for the
So
intervention.
Abiodun, no, thank you. But I just want to say, you say that it is smart to run away before a battle, right? Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I don't know. I think what Abiodun was trying to say is that it's smart to run away before a battle you think you are going to lose. Well,
No, but Kumara, I'm saying it's smart to walk away because there was not going to be a battle actually. Because I don't see
Now,
how it's practicable to have a primaries between now and the 10th of May.
okay, I hear you.
no. You said so many things. No, he said so many things about being smart. And that one of the points
he also repeated as being smart is that one you mentioned, because you said from the way and manner that you started with the court case, and you said if you were one of them, you could move away too from the court case, right? And also you now landed on also from the way things looked appears to be, it's possible that he was not going to. It was a smart thing for him to. No, 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 no. Please, let's not preach to young Nigerians. I keep saying young Nigerians because one day all of us are not going to be here. And politics, country will remain. Politics, democracy will remain, and system like this will remain. But let's see how we can fine tune. The idea of being smart, like what made Donald to launch straight respond to you was because what is smartness? Because there are records of Peter Obi like running away from 2001, between 2001 and 2002, when he was in PDP, ran to Abga. The same thing from Abga to another. Are you saying he's the smartest politician? All with the record, 5 different locations. When people try to compare and say Tinubu ran away from, Tinubu shifted or defected from party ABC to where he is today, I said no. If you compare the two of them, they have a different pattern and reasons for defecting. Labour Party, someone made this thing clear today. When Obi was in Labour Party, after losing the election, crisis, and it was obvious that there was interference from outside. It was so obvious. Now he decided to run away. And again, he came into ADC and interference also followed him. Why? Remember, he fought a good battle in Lagos during the 2023 election. I know very much that Tinubu will chase this man, will continue to follow this man, no matter what. So why is he running away from his battle? Is that a smartness? And the issue of saying from the judgment, from the legal case down to not getting favored or not getting a fair primaries, these are not his reasons. Trust me, these are not. Obi came with a mindset. And when he now got Kwankwaso, it was a perfect thing for him, and he moved on. Let's put it as the way it is. I was in Kano. I was in the convention in Abuja here. Anywhere, since the first day Obi met Kwankwaso in the public space, you could see the desperation for the two of them to come together. So let's not sugarcoat anything here and begin to tell the younger Nigerians as if, yeah, that was a perfect thing based on the knowledge of the books or the knowledge of the experts. No, please. Sorry. My name is Comrade IG Wala. Thank you.
Thank you, Comrade, for your contribution. There's quite a lot of commentary going on in the comment section, and I wish people would just, request the mic so that we can
Can I
hear
just
you.
say, I'm so sorry, Nana. Kola is back, and there's somebody with a Bob Marley logo who says he has a direct question for him. He put that in the box, in the inbox. I've forgotten his name. It's somebody with a nice Bob Marley. Aha, a Nigerian citizen. I think you said that you have a question for Kola. Are you around? Can we bring you up? Okay, well, maybe he no longer wants to ask the question. He says, I have a question for Kola. Please accept my request. But that was 30 minutes ago. So maybe the moment has passed. I'm also concerned about the absence of women. There was a lady earlier called Fuka or Fucha or something like that, and she has disappeared. Ladies, please, I need to hear your voices. If you are here, please join us. Agambi, are you a girl that you will go and put your hand up when I'm calling for women?
This maybe going by the pictures on the
Don't mind you guys.
flawless is a lady from all indication. Or Posse.
B seems to be also a lady from. There are lots of ladies here, man. Lots of
Okay,
them.
then let them put their hands
Ereta, is
up.
it Eta? Yeah, Miss Brown is here. So I think these are all women that are quietly listening. Okay, but don't keep Mr. Kola hanging, if
Okay.
he's going, like you
If a
said, it's come.
Nigerian citizen doesn't want to talk now, it's no problem.
Mm.
Let's move on to other people. And let me just quickly say that could you please all follow us, follow me on Twitter or X, follow Nana, follow Comrade Wala, follow Kola. Um, thank you. So who's going to speak next?
No, Mr. Kola is here hanging. He
Okay,
wants to
Kola,
say bye
let's
bye
let Kola speak.
formally.
Kola, thank you very much for coming back. Can you please give us your last words? Or maybe you even stay a bit longer, maybe another 30 minutes. But tell us,
Uh, uh,
speak and say whatever you think is appropriate.
Okay, because on your request, I will stay for another 30 minutes.
Thanks. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you.
And I must confess that I enjoyed the season.
That's good. That's good.
Thank
Did you hear my remark about bribes and delegates? Whether it's direct primaries or indirect primaries or primaries from Jericho, anything involving Nigerians must involve bribes. Do you agree with me?
But I don't agree with you. Maybe because I have joined in participating in politics. Sometimes what is called bribe can be likened to what we call honorarium. And I mean, yes, when it comes to serious,
Honorarium. Honorarium
yes,
was $10,000.
no, in delegate election. I haven't participated in delegate election where I got 10,000 US dollars. I haven't done one. And I
You
say
would have
this,
joined the APC primaries in
uh,
2022. That's what
and
Tinubu
I
was dishing out.
and
That's
I
what I
say
was
this,
told. To.
and I say this in truth. You understand? On my
Yes.
own honor, I haven't participated. You understand? But what I mean by honorarium is situation where people come from as far as what is it called, Meduguri or Sokoto, and come to Abuja, or you come from Sagbama in Bayelsa State, or you come from wherever you are coming from. And in some cases, I participated in convention where accommodation was provided, where you just come, your name was already there by the party, not by any of the aspirants, by the party, by the
Aha,
party.
aha. Now you're talking.
Not by any of the aspirants, by the party. So when you participate in that kind of a system, and somebody is now saying that, oh no, you were bribed, and they will even bring out figures that you will now be asking your colleagues or fellow compatriots that, oh come, how much did they give you? It's in the paper, so that's so and so amount was given. But with direct primary, bribery is very yeah. Can recall the option A4 election, where a representative of the candidate will stand up. Those who want to vote for him, he will carry either the what's it called? A photograph of the candidate, maybe
Mm.
a poster of the candidate. Then those who want to support him will fight behind him. So at the end of the day, they put these things together. Where Nigerians, like Donu rightly said, there's nothing foolproof about our system here. You understand?
Yes.
There's nothing that the Nigerian spirit cannot beat. You understand? But I think that I'm not talking like a politician here. I'm talking like a journalist. So I I think that well, this direct primary may make some sense. But we also have the consensus one, which is also being proposed, election. Consensus election is a election where we are all of us are
Thank you. Mm.
consensus. You must take the candidate that you have agreed. to a convention or a congress for ratification. I don't know how many of us would understand that. Which is like you still go back again to have an election to ratify what you have done by way of consensus. But where you cannot agree to consensus, where somebody who bought from say that I want to contest, I'm not doing consensus. If you cannot talk to the person, you must go into election proper. Thank you.
Consensus is like coronation, Abi.
Well, you can call it coronation, but there was the agreement. Once more than one person picks form, you go to that, you go for election. That's direct primary. But if it's only one person that you all agree to go and support, and the person has emerged, you must still go and vote for the person, even if it's a yes or no vote by way of ratification.
Okay. All right. So, African citizen, are you now ready to ask Kola the question you said you wanted to ask, or are you still now on hold? Okay. I'm trying my best to. Sorry, is it not African citizen, a Nigerian citizen, the one with the Bob Marley logo? Okay, move on, because later now they will accuse us of not letting them talk. Oh. All right. Nana, you're there. What about Ike God, my friend from before?
What happened to him?
I've just given him the mic because he's Ike God.
His
Go
hand
ahead,
is
please.
up.
Okay, Nana, you're back. Okay.
No, I've been on. I've been listening, but as speaker, I can't moderate. So, but I've
Okay,
been
well,
listening to
let me see.
everything.
But you can add people, can't you?
Nope, Nahi.
Okay, we'll talk about that privately offline. Okay.
Nana?
Ike God, please go ahead. I've given you the mic.
Yeah, thank you, Excellency Donu. I've
Okay,
enjoyed.
okay. Hold on. Which High Excellency?
Ah,
Is he contesting?
Look, gentlemen, you guys
just
don't know
leave
my
me.
relationship with her.
Don't bribe Madam,
You guys
please.
don't know my.
That's a
You guys
bribe.
don't know my relationship with her. She's a senior colleague. Okay, so when I
High Excellency,
call
you are
her
bribing her.
Her Excellency, she knows why.
He's ex-vanguard.
So
Okay.
the I promised to join your space yesterday, and I fulfilled my promise. Oga Kola, I hail your government, Mr. Wala. I hail everybody on the space. You know, the conversation has been enriching. This is the kind of space I've been advocating for, where everybody will bear their mind without abusing the other parties, because in politics, we must not all go left or all go right. We must have varying political ideologies. So opposition should not boycott the election. I told us, for instance, in countries, I mentioned about 10 countries, which I sent to you, Donu, that whenever opposition boycott election, it favors the ruling party, because whether we like it or not, election must hold in 2027. So if the opposition ADC boycotts the election, it's only going to favor Tinubu. Tinubu is going to be coronated as the president of Nigeria freely. Okay?
Ike, do you
Mr.
have a
Can you
baby?
attend to that?
Ike, do you have a
Yes,
baby
please.
in the house?
She's just playing. She's playing.
Ike?
She's playing.
Okay, oh,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So she's playing. So whether we like it or not, if the opposition boycotts this election, Tinubu will easily win. So boycotting this election is late. What we gotta do is continue to fight that the right thing be done, that the courts listen, that the court listen to our views, particularly.
She wants to talk,
Yeah.
right? She need the phone,
You
right?
just let her say hello so we can have some
Give her the phone.
okay.
Give her the phone.
Auntie
Let her
Bonu said she
contribute.
wanted women to talk.
Now she's kissing the phone.
Oh, okay. How old is she?
Kisses for her too.
She's 15 months old.
How old? Whoa. Okay. She can only say
Yeah,
mommy.
yeah. So the opposition should never ever think of boycotting 2027 election because that will be freely coronating Tinubu as president. What the opposition would do is continue to fight. Nigeria is just a nascent democracy. Our democracy is about 27 years old since 1999. Independence, Nigeria is still a young country, just 64 years. You can't compare Nigeria to the United States, that is over 250 years. Okay? So we're going to keep deepening democracy in Nigeria by continuing fighting the powers that be to ensure the right thing is done. The constitution is followed to the latter. Every country has their own problems. So because of the ongoing shenanigans or executive rascality or legislative rascality or judicial rascality in Nigeria, that shouldn't discourage the opposition from saying they are throwing in the towel. It will not augur well. That will morph Nigeria into a one-party state. That will morph Nigeria into an elected monarchy, which is the worst form of government. We do not want Nigeria to be morphed into a one-party state or an elected monarchy. So that is why I told us, I gave instances of countries like Egypt, like Djibouti, different countries where opposition candidates boycotted election because they thought the ruling party was not going to play by the rule, by the book. They boycotted the election and freely gave victory to the ruling party. We don't want that to happen in 2027. So all we got
Okay,
to
so
do.
Ike, let me just interrupt you and stop you there and say, look, what if Peter Obi goes to NDC and they start creating crisis in NDC? Meanwhile, they have destroyed PDP already. They have compromised Labour already, and ADC is embattled. Now, if all the key opposition parties are under attack and struggling to breathe, how on earth are they going to be able to put up a good fight during the election with one hand tied behind their back? Is there not a point at which you say, I will not participate in such a tainted process? This is only my argument. You see,
Okay,
the thing is, what is the point of joining in and then being disgraced? Instead, you just stand back and say, I will not join.
okay. Like I said, Nigeria's democracy is nascent and still fragile. You can't compare Nigeria to America. Look, here in America, if you read the history of this country, you will understand that it is opposition that actually makes this country what it is. For instance, if the Republican Party is in power, the Democratic Party comes together and fight through the courts. They fight through Congress. They fight on the street. You can see the No Kings protest that has been going on across the United States. It's being funded by Democratic politicians. Now, if Democratic Party gets into power in the United States, you will see Republican Party fighting through the courts, through the media, like Fox News. We all know what Fox News did when Biden was there. Just like what CNN is currently doing now that Trump is there. That is democracy. That is democracy. You do not throw in the towel because the ruling party is trying to put landmines in your party. For instance, in Republican states, you can see they've been doing what we call the redistricting. They are doing redistricting.
That is like the boundaries,
Yeah,
tampering with the
yeah,
boundaries.
so they are doing redistricting in order to push out Democratic Party and the Democratic Party or their candidates from being viable and formidable in Republican states. At the same time, Democratic Party are also doing the same thing to push out Republican parties from their states. So it's democracy.
Okay, that is a very interesting point. But let's get back to Nigeria.
Yeah, so
Because we have
democracy.
quite a few people here who want to talk on this platform. You can talk later.
Yeah.
You have made your point that you think that if we step back, if the sabotage continues, the aggressive sabotage, the illegal sabotage, you have made the point that you do not think we should say hell no. Continue. It's like masturbation, excuse my language. Go on. Do it on your own. Have sex with yourself.
Antigone. All right, a Nigerian, please, a Nigerian citizen, please unmute your mic.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are hearing me from. I really appreciate this space. It has been very educative. I actually wanted to ask my question directly to Kola, hoping that you'll be able to give me answers. But since it's not,
But
I
we
was
asked you, we
also
begged you for about 10 minutes.
no, I think it's
Excuse me, a
not.
Nigerian
It's
citizen.
not who just gave me accepted my request. It's just some minutes ago I was able to get the mic.
We couldn't
But
find
anyway,
you.
I think I can still see Kola here because I'm following him. But I know he is hearing me. Somehow he can also give me a response. Now, my question, I have a series of questions. The first one is this. I noticed that the schedule for ADC was released, I think some days ago. And on that schedule, some information concerning the prices of forms were also released. Like the one that concerns me now is status of assembly. And I was saying 3 million naira. And this is a coalition. High as 3 million. I may not want to concentrate on presidential tickets because, of course, it may not really affect me directly. But in a situation whereby status of assembly, form is 3 million naira, and you're not sure you would win the election. And for those who will win the election after spending 3 million naira, there is an amount at a limit you can spend from, I think, INEC and all of that for your campaign. How do we expect those from the roots, because this is states now, we are looking at different people from the local region. How do we expect them to be encouraged to participate? That's the first question. Second one is I was also from that same register. I was also saying that the register, the membership
Okay, can
register,
Tola answer that question?
has already. He doesn't have the mic now,
Or is the
but
next question close to be
yeah.
linked?
Can I go ahead or I should hold on?
Is the
Put
next question
you can
closely
put the
linked to
questions
question?
together.
Okay. Yes, I want to throw the second question so that when he comes up, or maybe somehow he can send the response. Okay. So the second question is this:
Okay, please.
the
Okay,
membership
go
register
ahead.
for
Make
ADC.
it fast.
Yeah, the membership register for ADC. I was saying it will be submitted, or it has been submitted on the 29th of April, and this is the month of May. I believe there are people who may want to register and also contest in the party. Now, supposing we have people like that, it means they don't have an opportunity anymore. Or is there an opportunity according to the Electoral Act? Then the third question I have is that following the litigations ADC has, and some persons are complaining that P2B has left. We all know that yes, the Supreme Court has referred ADC to the High Court, and we don't know how the judgment will look like in the future. In a situation whereby the judgment does not favor the ADC, is it advisable, we in the opposition, is it advisable that all our eggs should be in one basket? Because it means none of them in the ADC will be able to contest. That is my third question. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, caller. Over to
Yeah,
you.
go. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the first question is about the cost of funds. The ADC is reviewing its costs, and it hasn't arrived at the final decision. And if you look at the forms generally, you discover that they are comparatively about on the same fringe. I mean, among their parties. So that's my answer to that. The second question. What was the second question? Oh, it's not here again. Well, Nana, can
Wait,
anybody
I
can
can ask
anybody
the
remember?
second question again. Can I ask you so you if you
Yes,
can
go
answer?
ahead. Yes,
Okay.
please.
Now the second question is that from that same schedule, and it also has other information. And one of those information is that ADC as a party has submitted their membership
Good.
registration
Yes, thank you. Thank
information
you.
to INEC.
Yes,
And
that's
on
correct.
from my own understanding from the Electoral Act, it means that anybody's detail who is not on that form, that registration form that has been submitted, can no longer pick a form in ADC, even if the person registers, because INEC will not recognize that person as a member of ADC. Is that
That's
not
not
reducing opportunities for future members or
that's not
aspirants?
that's not totally correct. That's not totally form must be submitted. We had that first submission. You understand? Then, after that, ahead of the national convention and the primary election, they will submit another list. So if you're not captured in the party's internal election, you will be captured ahead of the primaries and the national convention. So I'm sure if another list has not even been submitted as we are speaking now, maybe preparatory is already being processed to be submitted. But you know, all these are new laws that were introduced by this administration, you understand, to harass and to limit the capacities of the respective political parties. These are the landmines, these are part of the landmines that we are talking about, just trying to stop people from participating in the electoral process. And what was the third question?
In a situation, the third question is this. Although I was not comfortable, I'm not
About,
comfortable with the
about
second question because I know that the deadline as set by INEC is for membership registration is 10th of May. And the convention you're talking about is after the 10th of May. So I don't know how that will be possible. But let's move to the third question. So
no, no,
now
no,
the
no,
third
no.
question,
No, please don't jump it, please. Don't jump it.
okay?
Ask the if you are not satisfied, ask the
Yes.
question.
The question your response is saying that you've perhaps a submission was made, but there will be a further
It's
submission after the convention.
there will definitely be if ahead of the convention. I don't say after the convention.
Okay.
Ahead of the convention, around that list, another registered group of people, names, which is required by INEC, will still be submitted. These are digital registers, which INEC required or requested for, that you have to submit before you can participate in the process. And I said that
Okay.
the first set was submitted before the party had its own convention. Now, going into the national convention where the presidential candidate will be picked, further registration will also be submitted for those who want to contest the election whose name were not in the previous register. That's the point I'm making.
All right. So when that second registration will be membership registration will be submitted, will the old one be updated so that to avoid other litigations of people who have registered themselves?
Definitely, it will be updated. Definitely,
All
if it's
right.
a requirement, whatever requirement that is legal will be done by the ADC. I can assure you of that.
All right. So my third question is this. Following the series of litigations the ADC has, yes, most of us are aware of the ruling party and all of that, but we don't want to go into that. We know what's going on. And at the end of the day, I'm saying, because the Supreme Court has referred ADC to the Federal High Court back, right? And the Federal High Court will have to sit. We don't know their decisions. We don't know what decisions they will give in the future. In a situation whereby the case does not favor the ADC, just like what's happening in the PDP now. The PDP has now, they are now using Board of Trustees and all of that. In a situation whereby the judgment will not favor the ADC, it means it will now deprive those in the ADC opportunities for contesting. And I'm saying that Peter will be moving to another party. Is it not a better opportunity? Because we cannot, all the oppositions cannot be tied by just one mistake, putting all eggs in one basket. So that's the question.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
can I just
Since you came by way. Since you came by way of hypothesis, I will also respond to you by way of hypothesis. In a situation, to borrow your words, that the judgment becomes favorable, will it not allow people to run election? You see, well, although Shakespeare says that we should also think of the worst that may befall, but I don't also agree that at all times we will think of the worst that may befall. Nobody gave us a chance that we could win at the Supreme Court. Is anybody? People believe that because there's so much conspiracy theorists in the air. So much that even when we believe that judgment should go right, the conspiracy theorists will come up and say, no, there's no way to go right. It will go left. But we went to the Supreme Court on the preliminary objections that we had at the Federal High Court for Justice, Lord Justice Nwite. That is what we went, and Justice Nwite said he will not accept the preliminary objections. And we went to the Court of Appeal, and the Court of Appeal followed suit and said no to the preliminary objection, and even went further to grant an order against the ADC. And the ADC went further to the Supreme Court. We don't believe this. And the Supreme Court granted them the right. And also said the Court of Appeal, since it didn't enter into the matter, ought not to have granted an order against the ADC. These were judgments. So I don't want to sit down and believe that, and I've also cited maybe we were not here. I've cited the example in the court of Justice Joyce Abdul Malik. In one breath, he said that issues affecting ADC were political in
Not
the matter
justiciable. Yes.
of not justiciable, in the matter of Dumebi, Kachiku. Then in another matter again of what's his name of Nafiu, the matter now became justiciable. So and we believe that look, even on that one, we will do the needful. We will appeal that judgment, and as I speak, I believe it has been appealed. So if all of us keep running away, because there's a threat, then they will drive all of us out. That's the truth. Okay, where we are going to, what we are going to, what landmine do you know has been set there? Because whether we want to believe it or not, the president wants to run alone. He doesn't even want a fly to run against him. So we don't keep running. Just because we are afraid or we are scared that the worst may befall. Let's stand up to it. We are a people of multi-party democracy. That is what I knew, and that's what I was grown into. And no individual, no matter how strong, no matter how powerful, should be allowed to put a country of 200 million people in the two sides of his pockets.
If
In his sides pockets. Nobody. So we don't keep running. We must stand at a point and say, no, this land belongs to all of us. Let us fight for it. So I don't want to mention individuals' name. I don't want to call out anybody. It's not in my character at all. I speak to issues. Thank you.
well, I want to
Thank you,
thank you,
Mr.
Kola, for those
Color.
remarks.
Mm,
Sorry, Nana, you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, Auntie Donna, you go ahead. I wanted
Okay.
to call Magnum on.
Sure. Okay, let me just quickly tell Kola, thank you for those comments. I do believe that people should sometimes stand their ground and refuse to back down. If everybody goes fleeing in different directions whenever they're faced with a threat, Palaba day for house. It's called fight or flight. And I think, Nigerians have got issues around confrontation, and it has to be bold and it has to be consistent. But I also want to ask you, Kola, and in fact, anybody who is a staunch obedient listening on this show should please put their hand up because you may need to speak for Peter Obi and Kwankwaso right now. Anybody who is an obedient or Kwankwasia. Because I want to ask, are they not splitting the opposition and making it easier for Tinubu to walk away with victory? I see that Pepperito and the Nigerian citizen have put their hands up and are building an SSA for Africa. Okay, let's go to SSA for Africa because he has not spoken so far. If you are an
Has Paparito spoken?
I don't know. Pepperita, have you spoken? Anyway,
He's
if
been here
you
for a long time.
okay,
No, I haven't
okay.
spoke.
Are you an obedience?
Oh no,
Okay,
absolutely
I'm
not.
asking for
I
an
cannot speak.
obedience
Okay, so
to please
will
defend.
you like to?
I
Just
speak.
Pepperita, I promise you, we will come back to you. But I'm asking an obedient to please defend Peter Obi against the allegation that he is splitting the opposition and making it easier for Tinubu to
Can I
win.
speak?
Yes.
Well,
Please.
Okay, so
Madam
Magnon,
Kobara, sorry, Madam Kobara, and I think that goes. This question you just asked
We didn't
goes
call
to the
you
points.
Abiodun. It's SSA for
Oh, I
Africa's
beg your
turn.
pardon. I
Uh,
apologize. Sorry, I
no,
didn't
don't
know.
worry, my dear. You can come, but let SSA talk.
All right. Good day, everybody. Good evening or good afternoon, wherever you are. I just wanted to speak on the question you just asked, right? Um, so, from what I see with this whole coalition and the yeah, um, I don't know if Mr. Kola had watched the interview Balaji Abdullahi did on Primetime on Arise today. If you
no, we
listen,
missed it because we were here.
yeah. So if you watched it, you will be very very grateful for Peter Obi for leaving the ADC. Now, what Bolaji Abdullahi said this evening, and I'll quote him. He said that Peter Obi refused. That Peter Obi does not. If you ask Peter Obi what the ADC position of fuel subsidy is today, Peter Obi doesn't know. If they ask him what the qualities or what policies, basically policy direction of the ADC today, he doesn't know. All Peter Obi wants is just to come into the party and get being handed over the um the ticket. Now, I'm not Peter Obi, but this is just me from outside listening to Bolaji Abdullahi, who maybe 3 days ago, 4 days ago, may have been speaking to Peter Obi to say, yo, stay back and everything. Just one day, and he has come out to say Peter Obi knows nothing. So if Peter Obi doesn't know anything, why are you trying to make him your vice president? What do you need from somebody who does not know anything about your policy? So if I were Peter Obi, I'll be very, very happy to leave that kind of place that does not rate me. They just want to use my popularity. And for a party who just wants to use my popularity, me as a Nigerian who is just here, not a party member, right? I can see the insincerity and deception that the ADC is. Because it's just under 24 hours. Everybody is shooting at Peter Obi. Everybody and trying to discredit his person, discredit his ability. So if you are, it's a contradiction to me. And please, maybe somebody else to make me understand how somebody you claim knows nothing, you so want him to be part of you, and because he decides to leave, all of you are casting aspersions on him and calling him someone who is not a unifier. What do you
Okay,
want
we
with
hear
somebody?
you.
Okay, thank you for that contribution. We thank you. But then that now reiterates something that his former
No,
vice presidential candidate said. He said ADC
Nana,
was a bed of strange bedfellows. So you're
Nana,
reiterating that. Now,
Nana,
Dr. Yes,
yes, I think he has made some strong statement against Bolaji that is not here, and we cannot just assume that what his own interpretation to what Bolaji said cannot actually. I mean, we should not let it go without without us checking. I
clarification.
mean, trying to
That's fair
correct that.
enough.
Yeah,
That's fair
thank you.
enough.
Yeah, if you can allow
Thank
me
you
to
for
do
your
that, let me
observation.
take it.
So, can we have Macnon before Pepperito, please? Macnon,
Can
please.
you have prepared, please?
Yeah,
Yeah,
bring
thank you.
Macnon,
Pepperito
please.
Can I go ahead?
now.
I thought you wanted to hear
Can I go
from
ahead?
Obedience, and he's just one more Obedient. Pepperito, then you have
Okay.
the mic, please.
Okay.
Please, can
Thank
I
you.
speak, please? Can I
Thank you,
speak?
No.
Magnum, unmute your mic.
I'm also obedient though. I'm also obedient though.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I'm just
Magnum
a member
hasn't
of the APC,
spoken.
but
Let
I'm
him
I'm
speak.
obedient.
We are
Magnum,
disobedient, so give us the mic too.
Magnum, please speak. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I'm a card carrying member of the APC,
Okay.
but I'm also obedient,
Okay.
particularly when it comes to who we want to, have conversations with in terms of good governance. So first thing first is that I wanted to correct some things. Um, Madam Donut, I think you talked about fight and flight, as responses to issues, to challenges. You didn't
Yes.
add the third one. There is freeze, and I think that's what is happening to Atiku. Atiku is freezing. He's not fighting. Neither is he running away. So he's freezing. I think that Obi took a very very tactical approach, and for me, I think I would commend his political sagacity. For somebody said that that Atiku wanted Obi as the VP. No, sir. Atiku did not need Obi as the VP. What Atiku wanted was to win back his PDP structure in the southeast by twisting and making sure that Obi is not able to run on any other political platform. Because if he has gone into primaries and everybody has submitted membership registers, there would be no way he's going to run. And I think Obi outsmarted them for that. And that's why everybody is angry. I really don't know why somebody is angry that I left that political party. Anybody can leave any political party. Arufai left APC. Malami left. Just leave if you want to leave. So for me, I'm talking about discrediting Peter Obi. I think it's one of the hazards of being a politician. Everybody is going to discredit everybody. So I don't think that's an excuse for anybody. Peter Obi knows it. He also discredits people, calls them, structure of criminality. Some people have discredited Ashwag Bola Ahmed Tinubu on this. So I think it's normal that people are going to get discredited. I also wanted to correct something that Mr. Kola said, because Mr. Kola, insinuated that the David Mark-led faction won at the Supreme Court. No, sir. Out of 7 prayers, only one was granted, which is this status quo antebellum. So for me, and it was just vacated. So the remaining 6, none of them was granted. So I don't see that as a victory for the ADC. For me, I think that collectively, what we are trying to do, what we obedience are trying to do, is to fight against the one-party opposition. Whatever the ADC is facing, the ADC is not the definition of the opposition. The ADC cannot force us into having a one-party opposition. If the ruling party, the APC, is trying to make us have a one-party state, why are you enabling them? And for me, I think we have to be very careful. There are going to be plans by the opposition within the opposition, which is the ADC, to come and cause trouble in the NDC. Because the way that they have been having their emotional outbursts, you would know that, for me, I think that they are the ones who are playing games with us. So, as obedience, we must stand firm, stand courageous, keep it clean, keep it civil, discuss the issues, and make sure that our principle is on the ballot. As a card carrying member of the APC, I wish APC the best. I believe Tinubu is going to win in 2027, but I also want Obi to be on the ballot. Thank you.
Wow, you want Tinubu to
Another
win.
another wiki another
Honorable
wiki in the
Mando,
house.
This is a very laughable. This is a very laughable
Dr.
one.
please unmute your mic.
Another wiki junior in the
That's a
house.
Tinubu member. It's not obedient. It's
It's a
not
very, very
obedient.
laughable one.
It's not
I
an
Honestly.
don't know
obedient.
how you can be obedient and
Please,
you
please,
want
please,
Tinubu
please,
to
let
win.
Kola speak.
But
Please, please, Madam
my own
Donald,
reaction. My own
I'll
reaction
take
is
time.
very.
I would like to speak again, please.
My own
Who is
reaction is
speaking now?
very straight and very simple. Because the man said that he's an epicist. He wants Aswaju to return into office. He also
But
wants but
obedient.
he just wants to be on ballot as obedient. So for me, that is a joke that our nation is being reduced to. And that's the pathetic theater that we are witnessing in our country. A country of 200 million people should not
If
be this badly reduced. And it's rather unfortunate. Thank you very much.
Please.
Can I quickly respond to my senior leader in the PDP? We used to be members in the PDP before,
No, no,
so
no,
I
no,
regard
don't
him as my political leader.
no,
No, just
don't
10 seconds, 10 seconds.
no,
It's not a back and forth. It's not a back and forth. think I address the issues. I think that your submission was more or less personal. But for me, I think the issues are very clear. We do not want a one-party opposition. I, as a current member of the APC, want Tinubu to win. It is democracy. So if you try and come and attack my character here, I don't think that is democratic. And that is why we will leave the ADC and go to the NDC. And we'll support them from the we demonstrate to make sure it and beat the ADC. And then we'll come to general elections that actually.
Please,
Can we
Can
have
I just ask,
Pepperito, please?
can we have Pepperito, please?
Just keep quiet and sleep, Mama. Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me? Mic check.
We can hear you.
Nana, please, can you confirm it? Okay,
Yeah,
great.
we
Good
can
evening,
hear you.
madam,
We
for
can hear
putting
you.
this platform together. Yeah, thank you. And thank you, Nana, for a good job as moderator. Bodakola, Okumboda, Sheadakoi. All right, so I just want to make one or two remarks. Mama, go downstairs and carry water. You're disturbing me. And come back and sleep. Sorry for that break in transmission. Yeah.
All
So
the little
NTA,
girls have
NTA
this baby.
Nigeria.
yeah, someone needs to sleep, and she hadn't agreed to sleep all this while. Okay. So back to the platform. So one thing is that I think we don't want the opposition to boycott election. I think they need to be on the ballot and they need to be there gallantly. And so again, I feel like the APC has done less than people give them credit for. I mean, look at what has happened. Just within some days, Mr. Obi and his friend left the ADC to NDC. And now there is an infighting between the ADC and the NDC. The difference is just A and N, right? And there is the issue of Alaji Dr. Umar Ado taking ADC to, NDC to court. I think he should rather be taking INEC to court if there's anything that it has that it feels is injustice instead of suing the NDC. It is the democratic right of Mr. Peter Obi to leave the ADC, even though I strongly feel that what did he go do there in the first place? If you believe that you won 2023 election as he has been saying all this while, I think it was a very wrong move to have gone into that coalition. Because according to him and what they believe that they won, it is only a matter of getting a strong northerner to pair on the ticket. It could have been the same, what's it called? Mr. Dati Baba Ahmed. It could have been the same person. Just guide against what you refer to as rigging and protect your votes. And that would have done the job. Instead of going to sojourn in the coalition and all the time that you could have used to build some strong structures, you had wasted it and almost got trapped into the coalition before you probably see the light and cause this confusion, so to speak. I also feel like Mr. Obi is slimy. It's too slimy to be a politician that deserves the number one seat in the office, in the land. That I mean, look, announcing that they have left the ADC. While Obi was still trying to kowtow to his senior brothers and senior uncles in the ADC and thanking the chairman, still trying to whether appeal to their conscience is what I will say, I don't even know. And try to still drop the blame at the doorsteps of the president and the APC. Mr. Engineer Kwankwaso was more direct. He said, we are living, if at this point in time, we don't even know the mode of primary. We don't even have clarity. And time is going and nobody is talking to anybody. You see, that is someone who knows what he wants and he goes for it. That is someone who is direct. Instead of Mr. Obi trying to, you understand the point I'm trying to make. I'm sure you know that part of his character. Nobody gets deceived by this thing. You ask for what you believe that you deserve. Instead of trying to say, I will do 4 years, one single tenure. Nobody believed those things. So he could have stood on his foot and demand. In the first place, I even wonder what they negotiated or discussed before he went into that ADC, into that coalition. Having said that, I believe he has wasted a lot of time that he could have used to put things together. All in all, here we are now. Should the opposition boycott election? I don't think they should. Rather, put your house together, organize properly, and give your best shots. For some of us who are in the APC or who are members of the APC, we also don't want a victory that is a smooth sail for us. We want people to challenge us. We want to have a victory that we can write a compendium about. We want a hard fought victory, legally, correctly, playing by the books, right? So we would encourage that the opposition put their houses together. If they want to come together, if they want to come as individuals, as a group, as a coalition, or what have you, and put in, because again, see, this is our country, right? We can choose different political paths. At the end of the day, I believe we all want a better country, a better Nigeria, right? And so, if the opposition is doing well, it can put the government on its foot, even though personally, I think democracy is slow, a system of government to deliver the goods, right? But they say the democracy is the best form of government. Uh,
Thank you. Thank
so
you so much.
in rounding up,
Okay, please just round up so that
okay,
Odo can unmute his mic. Thank you.
I would.
okay. So someone.
Please, before Mr. Kola leaves, I just have one question for him, please. I don't know.
Speaking, please, can Pepperito land on his thoughts? Thank you.
He has landed. He says that
So
he
in
wants a
rounding
free and fair contest. Pepperito, are you sure you're an APC member? Because your mindset doesn't rhyme with the rubbish I'm seeing coming out of the villa.
I don't think there is a rubbish coming out of the villa. I think, okay, for instance, I just alluded to the fact that now ADC to ADC, ADC to NDC are fighting themselves. So it has always been there. It is just that, okay, so I say this, if the wall does not crack, a lizard will not enter. Mama, go and sleep. You are going to school tomorrow.
Oh my goodness. I think it's time for you to mute your mic so that you can attend to Mama, please, and sort out her
But
underwear.
Pepperito, I just want to tell you
In round-
that I have always said that there are decent people in APC, just like there are in any party, just like there are bad people in all parties, right? What you have just said about wanting a clean contest with a proper opposition, take it from me. That is not the mindset of your party leadership.
Exactly.
Your own APC strategy is to plant bombs and booby traps illegally and unethically in other people's parties. So if you don't want that, you're a very decent fellow and you should leave APC now.
Well, I won't leave APC now.
I also don't want that, and I won't leave the APC. We want decent elections.
Well, what I do have
Okay,
to
so
say
let
to
me.
Pepperito is
Now,
this election cycle will not be a walk in the park for the APC. Trust and believe.
can I speak now?
Mr. Odo, can you please unmute your mic?
All right.
Okay, so let me round up. And someone was talking about how just within some hours, and Mr. Bolaji Abdullahi is throwing jabs at Peter Obi. So I will say to that fellow Nigerians, it's all politics. That's Simon Kolawole. So It is politics. If you cannot take the heat, you get out of the kitchen. By the way, when the jolly was good, everybody was jolly good fellow. But if it has also gone sour, expect anything. And as it is now, it's not going to be a two horse race. So as APC is jabbing NDC and ADC, expect the same thing. And these other guys will not play fair. Not like the candidate that is doing my senior brother, my elder colleague. These ones will throw it at you. So prepare, have a tough skin. Get yourself into the kitchen. Prepare for the high temperatures. If you cannot, get back home. Thank you.
Can I speak now? Finally. Hello?
Please
Yeah,
go
we can hear
ahead.
you.
All right.
We can hear you.
All right. Thank you very much. So I wanted to react to what a Nigerian citizen has said, right? So he just mentioned right now, he, as an APC person, wants a strong opposition. And just like Dono has rightly just said, that seems very, very dishonest, my brother, because you want that in and you are not speaking to your in all what you have just said right now.
Please, Udo, I'm not the APC person. I don't know if you are referring to me.
No, the person that's I'm saying the person that said that he's an APC person.
Yeah, I'm an APC person.
He's an
Yes,
APC.
Sorry,
Me,
no,
I'm
sorry,
obedient. I'm so obedient.
I took
Uh-huh.
you. The person that said he's an APC person but wants a strong opposition, right? Where everybody participates. I didn't see him in this space even say anything directly in to his party. Just like Ms. Dono has said, right? You come on here.
No, I said we're going to support
No,
Obi to have a
no,
ticket.
no.
That's what I said. And I
Yes,
said personally, I was
yes.
going to donate 20 million naira.
You spoke and
I'm taking a side in the
you
opposition.
spoke.
I'm going to support the
You spoke
opposition.
and you were not interrupted.
Oh,
If
sorry,
you
because I just wanted to
no,
clarify. I'm for Obi. I can never be for Atiku.
no.
For me.
I mean, you're an APC person, right? And I expect you to be to speak to your government who clearly does not want an opposition and ask them to ensure that they remove their hands from what is happening in the parties. Now, you mentioned that Obi left the and the Labour Party after the election. He was supposed to build blah 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 with Dati and everything. It seems like when people make these conversations, they deliberately forget what the APC and Abure did with an INEC, that triple coalition, the coalition of Abure, the APC, and INEC. Even up to the point that the court, why did the Obi leave the Labour Party? The court gave a judgment that Abure should not be recognized. And for months, my brothers and sisters, for months, the INEC refused to honor that judgment. The moment Peter Obi left, INEC recognized that judgment. Now, compare it with when Obi was in ADC already. And INEC, the court gave a judgment, and in less than 24 hours, INEC has issued.
Can we hear the last speaker?
I
Or
think
is
he has a
it,
network problem. He just
I can't
stepped.
hear.
He's no longer.
it tripped off? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hmm.
caller. Everybody who is putting their hands up now has already spoken. Let me ask
I
Mr.
just
Caller.
have one question, please.
Please,
Thank you
please,
very,
what is it?
thank you
Let's
very
call.
much.
Are you the special guest that you speak 10 times? You can
Thank you,
speak in a
thank
minute.
you very much, Zono. Thank you for inviting me on this space. I thank everybody for speaking out from their minds on hearts. There are those who have spoken, somebody spoke even my own local language, Peperito, just to make sure that, oh, he keeps me at home. And he also confessed to his membership of the APC. And if he has been conversant with us at home too, he will know that I've never shifted in opposition politics since we were played out of government. But be that as it may, I think we should be conscious, party politics notwithstanding, all continue to work for the good of this country. And we should be sincere with one another that life does not end here. We have a long future together. May God bless us and keep us straight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank
Does
you
that
very
mean you're
much,
leaving
Mr. P.
us? Or was that just a passing comment?
He sounds like he's tired.
Kola, are you still with us or are you saying goodbye?
Well, on
Okay,
that
let's
note,
move on. Let's
I
move
can see
on.
him.
I think
Yes. So, Mr.
he's
Tunji,
done well for us. He has stayed for 3 hours. Um.
mm,
Okay. So who is next? Agombi. Sorry, I was
please,
a bit
there's a
horrible to
Tunji.
you.
Tunji, please unmute your mic.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm speaking from the UK. So there's this concern the Oyo State Governor raised today that I would have loved to ask Mr. Kola, but I don't know if anybody can react to it. He said nobody has seen the documents of the judgment of the Supreme Court, but the within 48 less than 48 hours, the INEC has already updated the leaders of the ADC. Does that not raise concern about INEC as an institution? So that's one. And number two is about the person that raised the concern as regards and what the Mr. the interview Mr. Abdullahi granted today. I think most of obedience they love to hear than to listen. It's the host, as in the interviewer was asked him a question, and he was trying to answer it that okay, they set up a committee about the manifesto of the party, but Peter Obi did not really show concern about the manifesto of the party, that he is just after the ticket. So it's not like what he said today is expected. And I think he is being fair to meet Mr. Peter Obi. And he said it himself that this is just a setback, but they will move ahead from it. So that's just the two things I want to raise, the first one and the second one. Thank you. I yield the mic.
Thank you for your contribution. Okay, we have a Nigerian. You can unmute. Okay, Mr. Abiodun. After Abiodun, a Nigerian can unmute his mic, please. Thank you.
Okay, well, thanks again for the mic. Well, Mr. Peperito,
Pepperito.
Mr. Peperito, I like his optimism, but I'll say that if the incumbent will have the INEC boss resign, and if the incumbent will withdraw or have the Nigerian parliament withdraw that Electoral Act 2026 and have those anomalies corrected, we might have an adversarial election in 2027. And if the incumbent manage to come third, I'll give them an applause. Yeah. So while Mr. Pepereto makes those arguments, yeah, he must consider the current advantage that we believe the incumbent have. I have no shadow of doubt whatsoever that the INEC boss right now is in bed with the incumbent. And the current Electoral Act, as a lawyer, is repugnant. I'll throw it out of the window immediately. So if they can have those two rectified, and let's have an adversarial election in 2027. And if the incumbent manages to come third, I'll give them an applause. I also wanted to say that I don't agree with what Mr. Walla said, although what he said in response to what I said did not touch the point of my argument. The point of my argument is quite simple. Is a direct primary is practicable within 11 to 10 days. If it's not practicable, or if it's not, I beg your pardon, if it's not, then that means there might be a consensus process. And if there will be a consensus process, is it wise for Peter Obi to remain there, knowing that he may not go through that dollarization that is quite common in that kind of process? So 2022 will repeat itself again. He will walk away knowing that he will not engage with such. And that's what I mean by his move was smart. Okay, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
All right, oops. Okay, so Jackson, there's a new person called Jackson who I just gave. Unmute your mic, please, and let's hear your contribution. After Jackson, there's somebody, I don't know, he's fallen off, but I hope he comes back. Jackson, please unmute your mic. Thank you. Jackson, please unmute your mic. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Since we cannot hear from Jackson, I think somebody wants to respond to Mr. Abiodun. There was someone else that was on the queue. I can't find the person.
Mr.
Who wants to
Agombi.
respond? Auntie
Okay.
Donna, you were saying something.
No, there was one called Agombi who wanted to speak. He has disappeared. Okay.
Yes, maybe it's network.
But there are also a lot of people who haven't spoken in the next line on my screen anyway.
Okay, so maybe you can bring them up because I can't see. There's only one other person on my screen. I've been
Okay. Let
accepting.
me just add as speakers a couple of people.
Yes,
Ken
please.
Shola, for example. I don't know if it's a lady or a gentleman. That's Ken Shola. Okay. Ken Shola, please go ahead.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Can you hear me? Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yes.
Good
On the debate,
evening.
and I want to ask just two questions, and I want those questions to actually prick into our conscience. Number one is this: do we still value and do we still have decency in our political space? I'm saying this. I'm asking this question based on what one of the speaker just said right now. That if you have to be in the kitchen, you should be prepared to take the heat. We've actually gone into this political arena with so much toxicity. Peter Obi is a different ball game that we've not seen before. If we have to, if you have to make our polity to be decent, we need decent leaders, and that's what Peter Obi stands for. He doesn't have to go about, attacking everybody that attacks him. No, he's a decent man. That's the question. Do we still have decency in our shores? Number two, if the oppositions can actually go ahead with the election, the electoral law, like the last speaker said, has to be repealed. And all those, abnormalities in there that would, you know, chain candidates that are not in the present administration should be removed. And let Nigerians go out there and vote for their leader. Because the way it seems right now, if this electoral law is actually impacted on the next election, there are going to be serious problems. And we all know that the judiciary is already out of the old setting. The INEC chairman is actually in bed with the current administration. So my question, the first question I need to know, do we still have decency in our political space? Thank you. I yield the mic.
Can I say something? Ken Shola, this is not directly relating to what you said, but I agree we need decency in our political space. We have to question whether we have any shreds of decency left. But I wanted to raise a point that somebody made, which we haven't touched at all, which is this issue of independent candidacy. Someone said that if we have independent candidacy, all this palaver and quarrel about party changing and party issues would be eliminated. Does anybody here agree with that submission? I think the person who made,
Absolutely.
I
yeah.
don't agree. I don't agree. Do you want me to
uh,
go ahead and tell you why?
okay. The person who said
Okay,
that
so
was Easy Speaks. Easy Speaks said, if only we would allow independent candidates, we will not be here. Okay, go ahead.
I don't
Ahmed.
agree that the yeah. Okay, am I audible? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Now we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So first thing first, that I think that the barrier of entry is going to be very difficult. That's one, because otherwise it's going to be open to 200 million Nigerians, and I don't think we have the logistics and the capacity to print ballot papers that has 200 million Nigerians on it. So in terms of filtering, the what's it called? The scrutiny is going to be too high. Like I said, the barrier to entry is also going to be very difficult. Now it's going to be very, very expensive, and we'll expose it to money bags. So there is no vetting process within the party system. Um, Anybody that has money, or anybody that has mouth, or anybody that is popular, or anybody that has any. So, for me, it's open to anyone they can have it. And so for me, I personally feel that our politics, our country is not yet mature for that kind of thing. Now, I wanted to touch on some things. I don't know if you want me to quickly touch on that before I drop the mic. So in response to Dr. Falabi, I respectfully disagree with him when he talked about the electoral laws favoring one party over the other. I think that the electoral laws were passed very recently, and I know that the talks about coalition have been on 9 months after Trump got into power. So for any serious politician, seasoned politicians, former governors, former vice presidents, former Senate presidents, former this, former that, for any serious politician, they know that they should have put the house in order 2 years ago. So, for me, that excuse is very, very undemocratic. I think it can lead to anarchy, and I think that it should not be encouraged. Now, the second one, primaries versus consensus. I think that the consensus is even the one that is less transparent, and I can tell you why. So, what does the law say about the consensus? If one person, says that, oh, I do not agree to consensus, then they force the party into primaries. Now, let me tell you what politicians are going to do. So, you buy forms, and then you go through a screening exercise. So, they are not doing consensus again. Everybody should go into direct primaries. I think that direct primaries is, you test your popularity, you also test your loyalty. Who are those loyal to you across the wards, the states? I think it's less expensive. I think it's also an indication of how well you will perform in general elections. If you have representatives across 8,800 wards, and you see what the voting pattern is in terms of demography, yes, unfortunately for the ADC, respectfully to them, unfortunately for the membership registration is lopsided. But you cannot blame any other person. We had some states having 96,000, whereas some states had 300,000. So again, it looks like a majority carries the vote. Unfortunately, the majority is already on one side. However, for me, like I still said, somebody said I did not talk about what my party is doing. It is going to be a political
Your line is
irresponsibility
breaking,
for me.
Magnum.
I'm not speaking.
So, to be honest with you, I
Okay,
can barely
okay.
hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Can
Can
anybody
you hear me
else
now? Is
hear
it better
him?
now?
It seems his location is
Me, I can hear you. I don't know if you can
problematical.
hear me.
Okay. I asked a question. Nobody
I don't know.
answered.
I can hear you.
Nana, can you
I
hear
can
me?
hear you. I don't know if any other person can.
Okay. It's just
Me, I
that he
can hear
seems to
you.
be in a location.
Yes, I can hear you.
Why is there such a
Nana, can
long
you hear me
time
too?
delay? You ask a question,
I
no
think
one
there is
answers
a
for 2 minutes.
delay. Maybe there's some kind of delay, but I can hear.
Can you
Okay,
hear
go
me,
ahead.
Nana?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you very loud and clear. I like the way you roast the spaces and control. So for me, saying that the electoral law is very, very unfair, I don't think it favors anybody. Neither do I think anybody is at any disadvantage. Now, like I said again, the direct primaries is a representation, allows you to know whether you are popular or not. Um, Anybody saying that the INEC chairman should resign, for me, these are just mere political statements. The APC said this in 2015. The ACN said this in 2003. Everybody will always say it. Every opposition has to say it. So somebody asked that what is the APC doing to make sure that they do not disenfranchise other parties? I don't think that is the responsibility of the APC. For me personally, as a politician, Macdon Ali Oluwafi speaking personally, it is going to be political irresponsibility of me not to try and weaken my opposition. I'm politically responsible if I'm not able to weaken my opposition. Now, it is going to be political naivety for my opposition to expect me to come and strengthen them. So the bulk lies on INEC's table. Unfortunately, INEC needs to understand, and we also need to define what INEC is. Is INEC an institution or an embodiment of the chairman of INEC? So if we think that INEC is an institution, then we'll look at the internal processes of INEC. Does this guarantee free, fair, and credible election? In 2023, I think that so far so good. The result of the elections were representative of what people wanted. Some people lost Lagos State, some people lost Osun State, some people lost Sokoto, some people lost Kano. So if you say the INEC chairman should resign, it's a political statement. I will not tell him to resign, neither will I tell him not to resign. Whoever the INEC chairman is, he should come. We go into the electoral process, we go into electioneering, we go into campaigns, we keep it clean, we keep it civil, no ballot snatching, no 90% and tell other people not to come and campaign in your own strongholds, no beating of people, no thugs, no Baba we know well, he dey shout to me local, no hold, this Baba is too hold, his leg is paining him. No, keep it clean, issue based. I bet you that we will beat anybody blue black in this election. Issue for issue. However, if you want to do gbas for gbas, I don't think, like Dr. Falabi said, we are going to come third. If it is gbas for gbas, but issue-based, policy-based, what are the alternatives, policy direction, economic ideologies, political ideologies, foreign policy, we will beat anybody issue for issue. And we are, we are expecting. Thank you, and I hope everybody stands on the mandate. Thank you, and God bless.
Nobody's standing on anybody's mandate here. Right here, we are with the opposition. So definitely, you guys will come third in the next election. Take that to the bank.
Okay, Magnum, I always welcome diverse voices, and especially when they are essentially reasonable and you're not saying anything, so no problem. But yeah, I'm with Nana on this. We're not standing on any mandate
Standing
that
on
leaves Nigerians hungry.
nobody, nothing.
That leaves Nigerians hungry. And,
Exactly.
and and we just have to sit here watching people being so miserable. No electricity, no water, fuel prices, inflation is out of control.
Madam Dudu, can
But
I?
I must say that you are welcome here. APC people are welcome here if they want to make reasonable points. Though this
Thank
is
you
an
very
opposition
much.
platform, of
Thank
course.
you, and I really
Yeah.
do appreciate. I would have thought that we'll go into electricity as one of the issues. Maybe you can open a space for it tomorrow, next tomorrow, and let's discuss your own alternatives to solving the
Based
electricity
on
issues.
sorry to interrupt you, but based on power supply and the power shortage, trust me,
Yes, sir.
your candidate has lost the election
No
by his
problem.
own
So you,
words.
Nana, can I
By
yes, ma.
his
come?
So you
own
tell
Nana,
words,
us
he
what
said
your own alternatives are.
he doesn't give us light.
Yes.
Then
Are
we
you going to
shouldn't
pay
vote
off the
him.
legacy debts?
Are you going to cancel the take-or-pay agreement with the Gencos? Are you
Nana,
going to cancel the
Nana,
bonds that have been raised? Are you going
Pastor,
to
what
cancel
about
metering? Are you
security?
going to cancel the willing buyer, willing seller? Are you going to
Na-
cancel the banding system of the customers?
Manuela,
Na-
So
let's
for
speak
me,
behind the
Nana,
so
scene. Let's talk. Send me a message,
issues for
Tola.
issues, we are ready.
Send a
But if we
message,
want,
please. Let's talk.
yes, okay, ma, okay, ma, thank you.